Okay, pour us some wine.
I will. Should we start the episode with pour us some wine?
Yes, that's an integral and
well-established
part of our podcasting. Good. Well, John, I just hope anybody hearing that is looking at the video too. You can see what we're doing.
I'm ready.
John, you know what it is tonight, don't you? It's our 18th birthday.
Oh my God, it's legal.
Welcome to Brumcrack 18. And whoever thought we would get this far, certainly not our wives.
Doesn't this mean we're technically adults?
I think that technical barrier was passed quite some time ago.
No, 16 isn't in all cases, Mark.
No, we're reverting. It's cerebral degeneration. Anyway, happy
Cheers.
18th birthday.
Same to you, matey.
So tonight we are starting back on into our autumn schedule. We're hoping to bring you the entertainment and wit and wisdom that we are trying to produce and often failing fortnightly as previously established. So again, those of you who are new to our podcast, my name's Mark. I'm a Tory.
You're not a Tory. You left the Tories.
I'm a Tory. No, I'm definitely a Tory.
Left the Tories.
And John is my good friend sitting opposite me, and he's a wet old lefty. Although he is in government.
Died in the war.
Well, not him, but you know what I mean.
Oh, it's a lot harder in government.
And again, for those who are new to us, what we're going to do is we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about politics, arguing in a sort of semi-friendly way, and listening to some great music and sampling some alcohol of unknown provenance. I think you were about to say something there, John.
It's your idea that we're listening to music. We are going to be listening to some nice computer programs during the case of tonight.
That's going to be a matter for discussion. The reason we're not listening to any music that you might have heard before is that Spotify has removed the facility whereby we can play copyright music in our Spotify podcasts, and thereby encouraging me to go and seek alternative sources, therefore AI music. So up yours, Spotify. Having said that,
we're still on it.
Having said that, I must announce the launch of the debut album from the Summers family, which is now live on Spotify, iTunes, and iTunes Store. Featuring Holly Summers, the blonde and beautiful country singer, her husband Kurt, and Dad Waylon, and we'll be hearing some tracks from their debut album a little bit later in the program, won't we, John?
Just stop torturing me. Right.
Anyway, in the meantime,
no, just the new listeners, all the old listeners know my pain over the last few episodes. Right. It's not real.
It is real.
She doesn't exist.
Oh, no,
he doesn't exist. They don't exist. And the music they make doesn't exist.
Well, that last point is where you're wrong. Now, if ladies and gentlemen, let me just tell you, I'm going to put this. I put this, and going to put some other albums up on Spotify and all the usual platforms. And my aim is not to make any money out of it, but what I would like is the music to get out there. So anything that I might make is going to go to charity. Isn't that great, John?
No, I think it's really good, and it is an experiment. And to understand this, and we're not going to labour it because we've done it particularly last week or last episode. The premise on all of this, and if you haven't heard last week's episode, and you haven't heard any AI music, fully generated AI music, it's shockingly good. That's what we went through last week. And Mark's got new tracks, and he came out with an incredible statistic that just killed me, which is something like he'd knocked out or the software had knocked out 500 songs in about 7 weeks or so.
Less than that, but of which
we're only ever going to hear like the top five.
Probably.
But that's like Taylor Swift spending 5 years, generating 500 original songs, and then we only hear 11 of them.
Yeah,
but you're in the same kind of ballpark, and you've done it in 7 weeks.
Sure. And when John says AI generated music, this is music that I generated, and we'll have a discussion at some point about what no. Listen, all right. I'll tell you what. I'll lay you down a challenge, okay? Because I think there is more. There is definitely much more than just pressing the button and rolling the dice so far as this is concerned. Okay, so I'm challenging you to develop to do a couple of AI tracks for the next one, and let's see what they're like.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm fairly sure I can make them useless, arrive late, not done on time, because I'm an artist.
Yes, but no, do that.
Yeah, no, it's a good challenge, and I make a fellow challenge because it's a perfectly good bet.
Yeah.
You write 2 original songs and perform them.
No, well, this is the point. I mean, because I love music. I love all kinds of genres of music. Yeah. My tastes are extremely Catholic with a small c. And I lack the technical facility, and this is something I've always, really, bemoaned in myself, that I don't have that, and the time it takes to master, to get that skill necessary to produce the sort of music that I like and that I would want to produce.
Full quality,
and full quality, but when you're talking about producing a song that's has multiple instruments,
it's a great song,
recorded, arranged, mastered, mixed and mastered, and all that sort of stuff. I'm never going to achieve that physically.
Well, you're not now, are you?
Well, not at my age, no. And had I gone down a different path, I might.
Yeah.
But anyway, but that's the point. But now I can make music through, and when you say these tracks don't exist, they do exist. They really, really do exist. As much as any track any WAV file that you make download and so on, it exists as much as those. Where it came from is a different matter. But the fact is that I have spent most of my time listening to the music that I like, that I have generated. Okay, yeah. And I'm just going to say one more thing on that point. Excuse me, before we go further. If I
possibly into the first track,
if I go remember what that point is now.
Oh, why don't you ask your AI?
I've been listening to music that I want to listen to, and pretty much nothing else. And what you don't get, and when I have had a go at sort of producing music on a sequencer and so on, because I really like EDM music and so on. What you get is that point where you get so sick of your own song because you're listening to it all the time, and it's and you can't even appreciate the variations of what you need to do because you're just too close to it.
No,
you get fed up with it, and you don't get that because the process is relatively rapid. So I can rapid. It's ridiculous. I can reproduce my songs.
Right. Anyway, so can we get onto the first track?
The first track is one that I actually generated a little while ago. It was one of the first tracks that I produced on Suno, which is the AI music platform, and there's 2 of them, Suno and Udio, both very different in their approach and different what they churn out and and different in sort of the quality you get in various genres.
So you're going to give us the prompts, at least in outline. What were you after?
Yeah, well, this one was this was one of the first tracks that I did. Just as a bit of fun, really, to do with the podcast. It's called, in fact, Brumcrack Podcast 2. Oh, hang on, no, it didn't start. Hang on, we're going to start at the beginning.
This is exactly.
Mark's on the mic, spitting wisdom, yeah, hear it. John's driving the train, but he ain't nowhere near it. Laughing at the silence while John just sighs. Mark's got the answers, yeah, John's asking why. Mark's talking politics, got his Tory ways. John's dreaming dreams of those Labour days. Grum crack bouncing through the night airwaves. Mark's taking no prisoners, John's digging his grave. Mark's talking Talking politics, got his Tory ways. John's dreaming dreams of those Labor days. Rum crack bouncing through the night airwaves. Mark's taking no prisoners, John's digging his grave. Rum crack burning bright. Mark's in the lead, John's out of sight. Talking truths beneath the city lights. One's got the fire, the other's lost his fight. Mark lays it down like a country song. John's chasing shadows, always ends up wrong. Conservative heart, beating strong and true. Labor dreams, yeah, they ain't coming through. Voices echo through the static storm. Mark's whizzing cuts through, keeps it warm. Conservative heart, beating strong and true. Labor dreams, yeah, they ain't coming through. Voices echo through the static storm. Mark's whizzing cuts through, keeps it warm. John's lost in the noise, no true reform. Just a ghost in a dream can transform. Rum crack burning bright. Mark's in the lead, John's out of sight. Talking truths beneath the city lights. One's got the fire, the other's lost his fight.
Jesus Christ. Honestly, seriously, the musical equivalent of having a very, very small dick.
Now, let me give you a brief glimpse of hope. Okay, so far as AI music is concerned, and this is something that, you know, when I first started doing this, I thought this stuff was so good. I mean, you know, how can they keep this up? How can they keep this up? Mm-hmm. Because there's got to be only so many songs.
Okay, go on.
Okay, and you know, if you're looking at sort of harvesting from you know, the
every song that's ever
been catalog, you know, the chord progressions, the phrases, and so on and so forth. You know, there's got the things that people really like. Mm-hmm. You know, that's got to get harder to do. And what I've found over the last few weeks is it's not as easy. It's either not as easy to generate something that I like, mm-hmm. or I'm getting more picky, because when it came to putting together an album, things that I liked, I thought that's not really good enough to put on an album.
Right. I think it's interesting, and that's your development essentially from 2 weeks ago. Yeah. You're giving us an update on what it's actually like to do it. And I think that's interesting, because, for instance, this song, when you first played it to me, you know, months ago.
You haven't heard that one before?
Oh, haven't I? Thought I heard the John's crap and I'm brilliant, and I've got really good ideas.
There's four
and he
John's
can't
crap
do
and
anything. Yeah, four John's crap and I'm brilliant. As I say, you know,
mm-hmm.
small dick. But anyway, but when I heard the other version anyway, and this one, there's no doubt in my mind that what you played last week, and this is just a blatant plug, if you're listening to this one, go back and listen to last week's, number 17. Because we were both just spending most of the episode going, oh my God, this stuff's brilliant. And I would say it was better than this now, because I think you're right, you get used to it and you kind of go, when this was first there, it was like, how can you do that? How can it be so good? And now it's a bit, it's okay, it's an all right jokey song, it's what it is. But the other songs are better, I think, across the board. And that's probably what always happens, isn't it?
The songs on Southern Nights by the Summers Family are truly, truly great. Remember, all proceeds go to charity.
I want to audit it. Anyway, right. So, what they don't do is go to any actual artists and musicians who actually produce anything, but we'll ignore that. So I get the picky thing, and I think it's good you report from the front line on this, because I think it is interesting. And over the year and onwards, But over the year, I think it'll be very interesting what
Yeah.
your perspective is in doing it. Do
Yeah.
you know? Because I know you'll go an honest thing. Will you find it samey, or will you be constantly surprised by its innovation any more than listening to albums from new people?
I know, quite.
So I think we have yet to see that.
Yeah.
That it's a perfectly alright song, but that didn't do anything for me. But it can also be the nature of the song. That's a more jokey song.
Well, this was one of the early ones. So this is the point at
just
which
finding out if it's any good.
Yeah, and I thought it was, and it wasn't the first pick to do that. To surprise you with a song that says John's crap. And
maybe
I'm great.
not do it now. We'll do it maybe after one of the other songs. But you were telling me earlier that that there's now. Because last week was about one platform in particular. Was
yes,
it Udi or whatever it's
Suno
called?
was the platform that I've been
Last
using.
week.
Yes, and since then, that's since the last episode, I've started on the other platform as well, which is called Udio. Okay. Now, Suno, it comes from the point of view that it will generate a track up to 4 minutes, and if the sort of genre and style of music and lyrics sort of justify less than that, it'll churn you out a complete track.
Yeah.
Okay, which you can either like or not, or you can actually pick a point at which during the song to extend it. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you can say, right, well, I don't like that bit after that. I want to make it longer. You can pick a natural point and then extend, and it will then,
start again for the rest of it.
Start again. But it's still very prompt driven. But it's more towards giving you a complete track, and the control over it is all in the prompts. There's no other sort of separate real things that you can play with. The one called Udio, what it does is it generates you a 30-second. Well, it can do a 30-second clip, or it can do a 2-minute clip.
Right.
So the idea is with a 30-second clip is it will generate you basically the meat of the song, the
chorus,
the chorus, the main bit, the verse and the chorus.
Yeah.
Okay, and then it will do you 2 versions, the same as Suno will give you 2 versions of each idea you generate. And then you can pick, you can add an intro, or you can add a section before it, and then an intro before that. But
so
anyway,
you are building the main building blocks.
You are building it, and you can also edit the lyrics.
You can
edit the lyrics. You can also separate the streams if you want to.
So let's say you had a verse where you liked what the verse was, and there was one line, and you kind of went, it doesn't really work, or it's a bit cliched, or it's a bit computery.
They call it in painting.
You can turn around and say, give me some options on that line.
Yeah. Or you can change that line
manually.
Or if you don't like part of it, you can also remix it. You say, I like the vibe, I'm not sure about that. And then
that could be what the guitar bit.
Yeah, and you can just say remix, and it will give you 2 different versions.
And you keep doing that until you get one you like.
Until you get what you want. So you can extend and build in and do all sorts.
So
of
last
things.
episode, I was saying that was one of the main limitations, but it would get fixed, and you're basically telling me it already has.
It's already been fixed.
Okay, right. Let's do something else.
Okay, we're going to come back to that because all we've got tonight is AI music.
And I get so depressed.
I wanted to ask you a question. I was reading an interesting article in the Mirror. Mm-hmm. Okay, an article about civil servants from the last Labour administration.
16 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
An interview with them saying that journalists from the Daily Mail, had been approaching them to try and get them to, basically tell about their bad experiences with various members of the Labour cabinet as they were at that stage,
right?
With a view to sort of
hatchet piece,
undermining, destabilising, doing whatever, and that some of them would and some of them wouldn't, and that the people would take out personal grudges and so on against various ministers, by allowing stories.
Yeah,
this has only come out recently. I mean, what's your view of that sort of approach of journalism?
I think that's a legitimate approach. Actually, I don't have a problem with that. Because you're testing the system. I think it's perfectly right for a journalist to try and dig up dirt. I don't think that's wrong at all. It's not the same as hacking someone's phone whose children have just died and all that kind of stuff. What all the hacking scandal did...
This wasn't hacking.
No, I know. I'm sorry, I'm making the distinction. Yeah. I get that. But what the hacking scandal did was, in a sense... put on for the very first time the idea that there was a balance between the public's right to know and any private individual's right to have some privacy. And I think, for good or bad, that's been established. It's now part of the conversation.
Yeah.
But I think going up to someone to dig dirt, that's their motive.
Yeah. With the express purpose of trying to get them kicked out of office or whatever.
I get it. The bottom line is, and we saw, we've seen so much criticism of Tory ministers that have come out in the press, bad behaviour, bullying, all these kind of things. And the public get educated, I think, very quickly. In other words, when the first story comes out, oh my God, someone's guilty of bullying, everyone kind of goes, oh, that's bad, ministers shouldn't be bullies. By the time you got to the 10th story, I think everybody gets much more into, well, is it true? And as a society, is there a degree at which a minister who wants to achieve something, often the Tory ministers, something I don't want them to achieve, but they are the ministers, they're trying to achieve it. They may try and achieve it in what they see as civil servants not doing what they want, and they may pressure them. And I don't think there's anything wrong with coming in, because what I'm really trying to say is if the dirt's not there, you would hope it won't come out. If it does, you question the person saying it to see if you believe.
But
I know you're lining me up for something, and that's
journalists
fine.
aren't.
Anyway, so no, I don't have a problem with that.
You don't have a problem with that. You don't see.
I don't see it wrong.
Rather than attacking policies, that it's okay to try and find some way and exploit people who have grudges against people potentially.
Well, you're not exploiting them. If they've got a grudge, you're actually enabling.
If they've got a grudge,
you're enabling them.
It doesn't mean that you're deliberately looking for something that's going to undermine somebody, not on the basis of what they're saying. I'm not suggesting
that a journalist has to go in without a bias in what they're asking. What they should be doing, if they're professional journalists, however, is reporting the news truthfully. This is just finishing. Reporting the news truthfully. So, for instance, you don't make up quotes. Okay. You don't selectively quote someone, whether it's a video or what they say. So, I think that's my balance.
And how about this then? This is the communication that this journalist from the Daily Mail.
Are we still talking about 16 years ago, the old government?
Yeah.
Not the current one.
No. So you may have seen my previous work on ministerial conduct, most notably X, which ultimately led to his departure as Deputy PM and Justice Secretary. For those pieces, I spoke to multiple officials, past and present, and protected their anonymity throughout. I was also led by them rather than the other way around. What I've heard about X is true, then it sounds like there's an overwhelming public interest case for investigating those claims. I hope you will consider talking to me.
Sorry. So give me context.
This is the communication from the journalist
to the minister,
to civil servants to try and dig out dirt on ministers.
Well, you say dig out dirt, but if there is a legitimate concern that the journalist is saying there is, what I read that slightly different. We're using
You may have seen my previous work on ministerial conduct, most notably on X, which ultimately led to his departure.
Right. So what I'm trying to say, though, is you've characterised that as digging up dirt, which I may well colloquially agree with you, especially if it's from a political enemy. But in terms of journalistic integrity, what you've got someone there saying is, I have found out information about a minister which led them to resign. That's not digging up dirt. It's information that made him or her resign. Would you like to talk to me? That's right. Again, I see nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
Why?
Right.
Because it's an invite.
Enough.
I can't. And we have free speech. We have investigative journalism. Yeah. Now, when they get a reply, the minister's entitled to turn around.
I'm looking at it from the other point of view. Do you think it's a legitimate tactic to try and to bring someone down because of something that they may or may not have said? Because these things are never put before a court or anything like that, just because you don't like their politics.
I think it is, I think it, and on either side,
Okay, well,
hold on. I think it's entirely legitimate to test the system, test the ministers, test them. So, for instance, if you're saying, I don't like a Tory MP or a Tory minister, it is perfectly legitimate for you to see if there is something that the public, i.e. truth, it has to be true, that person has done, that the public will form a view, because after all, we elect these people. We and they are representative democracy. They act on our behalf. If, for instance, they're behaving badly, you may have a motive because you want that to be true.
Right.
But when the evidence comes out and you publish, the public will turn around and go, well,
No, fair play.
Right, so anyway, that's my answer.
Is it, if you've got someone who's an otherwise, perfectly competent...
I'm waiting for a shoe to drop here. I know where this is going.
Perfectly competent and capable minister, because they may have shouted at someone and so on. Is that reason why they should be sacked?
Right. But as you've just said there, if the story that comes back is they once shouted at someone, most people, we've all seen the thick of it, right? Most people would go, these are high-pressured people doing very important jobs, possibly with a very lazy person who's making the allegations. Well, no, you see your assumption, but I'm saying... but the allegation... Well, no, that's an assumption, but what I'm saying is...
lazy. Lazy.
And you wonder why... anyway. So I'm answering your questions honestly as I can.
Listen,
so the
answer
to me is you publish, we have a free society, you are allowed to test it.
Okay.
And then the public go, lazy bastard didn't want to do the job or didn't want to, had a political agenda they shouldn't have had.
Then it's a very fair answer because the article was actually in the Telegraph about a journalist from The Guardian who was trying to dig up dirt on Kemi Badenoch.
Which one's Badenoch?
God. Kenny Badenoch. Kemi Badenoch is the former business secretary.
Tory.
A black woman.
Tory.
Okay, who's...
no, Tory. I'm race blind when it comes to Tories.
Who I would back any day as the next Tory leader. Okay, because of her capability.
Yeah, but you support Farage, you supported Johnson, so the idea you'd support her really doesn't say very much about you, given your success rate so far. But can I just go back to this for a minute? You were setting me up, but presumably I got out of that because I.
Well, no, you accepted it, and I said fair play.
I'm agreeing. That's what I'm saying. No, it is legitimate.
Yeah.
And in the same way, we've now got a Labour government. Oh, thank God. I nearly did my laugh. I nearly did my laugh, but I did enough of that last time. But in the same vein, it must be right that, for instance, Telegraph journalists and Mail journalists do dig around, right, to see if there is a legitimate, failing in them, either that they're hypocritical or whatever. Because that's
I just think there's an irony in a Guardian journalist trying to dig up dirt on a black woman who may become a prime minister at some stage.
Yeah, but
this is where identity politics falls flat on its face.
I think all it is I respect the Fourth Estate. We live in a country, one of our greatest, and it's what brought this Tory government down essentially. One of our greatest things is we do have free speech, and loads of countries don't. You do this shit in Russia. Right? You're never going to find out about Johnson. You're never going to find out about the PPE scandal. Yeah. You're just going to end up in jail for 12 years and no one will report what you say.
I agree.
So it's really an argument of free speech.
I agree, but what I do lament, and we've lamented this before together, is that so much heat is generated and very little light around these issues when perhaps we should be really talking more about not trying to bring down someone who's perfectly capable politician and an elected politician for something they may have said and done, and actually look at what their politics are and look at what their policies are and what they're voting for.
I think in a representative democracy it is both. But if you ask me, and we have done this, if you ask me that it's turned into an entertainment thing.
It's not entertainment.
No, but it is because that's why it sells. It sells papers. If it bleeds, it leads. It's... I agree with you. It can become too much of a popularity contest. But it's interesting you saying this in an extremely mature way, if you don't mind me saying. Because I remember you just hammering on about Keir Starmer, how boring he is.
Oh, you mean Sukyer Starmer?
Just all of that.
Sukyer Starmer.
You sound so like Trump. Oh, hang on. What was that disabled thing he did?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. We look,
you're saying
on this thing, we look like complete amateurs compared to the Yanks. Holy hell.
Only for now it's coming. Anyway, so yes. So that was your question.
That's my question.
Got the answer. And I look forward to, and in fact, one of, I can't remember if it was Jess Phillips, someone said, ministers are going to screw up. And the point is, I think the public will accept a screw up as long as it's not repeated.
Yeah,
One, if you and it depends what the screw up is.
I agree with you. So if Johnson said, "Yep, sorry," really.
Really. I think he probably did say.
Very busy time. And
very drunk.
And when I was just some
party?
cakes
A party?
and a few bottles. What are you supposed to do?
By the way, that is literally word for word what he did say. Anyway, right.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
But no, if he'd have just come out and said, "Look, yeah, I'm sorry, hands up."
I think it was
We've
too
all been
serious.
working
I don't
together.
think he could do it. I think, he could have gone into the middle ground. But the problem is, the moment he shouldn't have done it. The bottom line is he shouldn't have done it because
of course not. I agree with you.
What I'm saying is I don't think he could even run to
I
on a
don't
lot of things.
think it was a sacking.
Oh,
of
it
face.
absolutely was.
Anyway.
No, if you're making people, it's the context. If you're making people not go to their parents' funerals, it's so serious.
No, I
you
get
can't
this. I
get
get
away
it. Well,
with
the whole
That
thing was
the
a
problem.
complete shit show,
Anyway,
and she never got it. Anyway, just while we're on that, and while we're sort of segueing neatly to
And actually agreeing more
to
than
America, I remember you saying when all this, I was saying about Joe Biden being utterly cognitively incompetent, and you saying no, it's the right wing press, putting clips together and misrepresenting it, and that doesn't look like that was right, does it?
Give me your evidence that what I said was wrong. In other words, tell me the bit
Oh,
you're
no,
relying
no.
on. No, what are you relying on that what I was saying was wrong?
Well, what you were saying was that these things have been put together to misrepresent him as being cognitively compromised.
Yes.
Okay.
And what's your evidence that I'm wrong about that?
No, what they did was they put these things together to show that he was cognitively compromised. No, because we now know that he is cognitively compromised.
No, we don't. We don't know that.
Then why? Why?
So hold on.
I mean, really?
So hang on.
I mean, this is another example of the left's ability to distort reality.
So simply asking you to say what you're relying on that what I said was wrong.
His behaviour at the debate with Donald Trump.
That wasn't good.
No, it wasn't good. It wasn't. It clearly wasn't good.
Do you accept? First of all, he is his age. I mean, I agree.
No, listen, this is not a criticism of the guy.
Wait. It's not a sharp. No 80-year-old or 80-plus-year-old is going to be as sharp as, for instance, a 40
Well, he's not
or
that
50,
much older than Trump. And Trump is damn... Whatever you may think of Trump, he's a damn sight sharper.
I don't agree. I don't agree because I've seen the same kind of narrow clips. Hang on. I've seen the narrow clips of Trump rambling, jumping around, being incoherent. The fact that his character is incoherent makes it hide the fact he's his age. But I just want to ask you something different. I know what you're really relying on. You're actually relying on the Democrats pressuring him and then him resigning, and therefore it proves he was. Hang on, it proves he was cognitive tyrant. No, it doesn't.
No, it does.
Hang on. Well, hold on a sec. It only does if there isn't an alternative explanation, which is perfectly valid and reasonable. And the perfectly valid one is, first of all, he has a stutter. All his life, it's obvious and known he had to be cured from a stutter. So as he gets older, I'm absolutely sure
Really?
But do you, hang on, well, let's down fact smart rather than snide.
Really?
Right. So you're saying he's never had a stutter? You're claiming that.
I've never even heard that claim before. I've
Really?
never heard
Right,
any
hang on.
suggestion that he has a stutter.
I will make my point.
And tell you what, that was not a stutter.
Mark, wait. Given your ignorance, and I use the word properly, go and just check Biden's stutter.
You do it.
Well, I'm
I'm
talking.
keyed up. I've got stuff keyed up.
All right. So the first thing is he has got a well-established stutter right from the beginning.
Who wants
when he
a
was
president
a kid.
who's can't string two words together?
What you're saying is, who wants a disabled president, Mark? Just say
Oh,
it straight.
please.
Just say it straight, Mark. No, honestly, it's okay.
Please.
It's okay, Mate. You can do it. You're in a safe
Please.
space here, mate.
See, you
Sorry,
thought of that
wait.
first, 'cause
So
that's what really
quickly.
you don't
So he's always had a stutter. I think as he's older, it's harder for him under pressure to control it. But he does very largely. I love, by the way, Mark is checking. So everybody who's listening to this, who knows that Biden has a stutter, please just wait. Anyway, but the other ones...
It's just an excuse.
But the other ones are the Democrats realised that because of that in public perception, he was not going to win. And in the hard world of politics, he stood aside like a hero so Kamala could come and kick Trump's ass. Oh, Mark's face.
No.
Oh, Mark's face. Oh, you should see it. Please watch YouTube. We're at 11 minutes 30. Watch it because Mark's face is
Oh, please.
falling.
There's nothing.
Mark's face is
There's
falling.
No, that's bullshit.
Oh,
look at this face. Look
yeah,
at this face.
Yeah.
This
Trying
is
too
just
hard,
utter,
my friend.
Utter,
Trying too hard, my friend.
Bullshit.
Right.
Good. Okay.
Anyway.
Right. So I'm sure there's going to be more to be said on American politics.
Dear.
One thing.
Dear.
Let me just say one more thing about the
Sorry, I need a moment.
the approach and the way
Right,
the way the press treats the Labour government. What you have not heard.
Yeah.
And I listen to Radio 4.
As student at Catholic school, Biden struggled with a stutter, speech
But he
condition.
hasn't. Where are the contemporary? Where are the contemporary?
The mockery
episodes?
was sometimes fierce.
At school, but he's overcome it. And
Anyway.
that was not a stutter.
But let's be clear,
That
you've
was
never
not
heard
a
about this, Mark.
stutter.
Anyway, carry on with your
was
story.
not
No,
a
Mark,
stutter.
I am not someone who will just attack you because you
Not a
know
stutter.
nothing.
I never heard, even in the last presidential race, I never heard him stutter once.
Anyway, carry on, Mark.
Right, what was I going to say?
Joe
about the
Biden's
BBC.
history of stuttering sheds light on the condition.
No, the
all right, all I
BBC.
can say to anybody here, after that
Listen.
exchange, go to the internet and just put in Biden stutter.
Okay, all right. Are you saying to me that his performance in the debate with Donald Trump can be explained as a stutter?
And you don't even know.
Can you?
One.
Can you?
You don't even.
Are you
know
saying
enough
that?
one.
What you're saying?
I am saying that there is. I mean, we've both agreed that American politics is shit show, and part of the shit show is if you've got two well past 80-year-olds fighting it out. I think there's about 4-year difference or 3-4 year difference between them, and there may be cognitive differences. Let's just be honest, right? But that's what the American people were being offered, right? What's obviously fascinating. I mean, I think Kamala Harris is 59. I think she's in her late 50s. No, I think she is.
I think she's 60. I think she's 60.
No, I think she's under, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I think she's under, but it doesn't matter. But she's like a 20-year-old. In what
She's
we've
thick
seen
as
for 5
shit.
years. What we've seen for 5 years.
She's
racist.
like a child.
Racist. I don't
Why
know
do you
whether.
think they
By the
keep
way, I
it-
don't know if you're
What was-
anti-Indian or
hang on,
anti-black.
what was racist in saying someone's thick as shit? Where is the racial stereotype?
The joke there was not against you personally. It was against. It was against the. Oh, why does she think of shit? Well, she must be. She's a woman, black and
You
Indian.
said that. You said that.
As does all
you
the
said that.
as do
not
all
me.
the right wing press. Anyway, carry on. You were actually trying to make
And Tim Waltz. Have you heard of him?
I think he's brilliant.
You've heard
Isn't
of
he
him?
kicking.
Okay, who managed to get himself discharged from the National Guard just before they were deployed to Afghanistan?
Hold on. Someone who would vote for Trump says that. And by the way, not true. Right wing lie.
No, not true.
No, straightforward lie. Wait. No. Mark.
True.
Okay, I will go and do a bit of evidence. You do something else.
Okay.
Because that's a lie and it's classic right-wing lying. It is a lie. Mark, it is. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Well,
Unlike you, I'm going to check it.
There's testimony from his former commanding officer.
Just bullshit. Go.
Okay.
Go with whatever
Okay.
you're doing.
Right.
No, seriously, just go for
I
it.
was going to say one last point on this is the way that BBC. I listen to the Today program at 5 o'clock every day on Radio 4. I listen to the morning program on Radio 4 News, and the way they deal with the Labour government is substantially different from the way they deal with the Tory government. We haven't heard a mention of immigration that has gone off the scale. The small boats influx has gone off the scale.
Which you may recall is 20,000.
Which we
20,000
don't hear about
which,
from
Mark,
the BBC.
Right.
It's gone up. It's gone up.
Mark, which is, and I don't know the exact figure, I can check it, but it's either 20,000 or 60,000, which sounds a lot until you go, the Tories had the highest possible immigration rate ever of 680,000.
And
so
Keir
20
Keir
or
Starmer
60
had pledged
doesn't make it.
to deal with it,
No,
and nothing's happened.
Hang on.
Anyway.
But Mark, he's been in for about 6 months. Anyway, my point being, you're claiming that that's a big thing, and anyone with any sense goes, look, it may be an issue, and it was a Tory red
rather
meat
like
issue.
Brexit. Oh, can't deal with it straight away. Things are not going to get great straight away. Isn't that kind of what you argued about Brexit?
Carry on.
Anyway, so I'm going to play y'all folks a track from the
Excellent.
from the first album from the Summers
First
family.
album.
And this is a track by Waylon Summers. He's
Tell
the
me
dad.
tell me the story, Mark. How did Waylon come back to music? What's his backstory,
Well, I
Mark?
think we kind of dealt with that in the last episode.
Yeah,
I
but
think.
there's people here haven't heard
Yeah,
it.
well, Waylon, he's Kurt's dad. Kurt's the husband of Holly Summers, and they're like a singing pair of singing people. Anyway, so
I want to be clear, by the way, we've drank far less on this episode than
We
normal.
have.
But there's something about tonight. We're just being
Anyway,
very
this
weird.
is a song. This is a song about young bucks hoping to make their way in the rodeo. It's called Rodeo Dreams.
Dusty roads, broken faith, chasing fame, low and late. Leather scars, tiger bones, midnight skies, lonesome groans. Whiskey tears, call my name, redemption lost in the game. Bulls charge, wild and free, spurs on tight, can't you see? Rodeo dreams, ride or die. Cowboy sword, reaching sky. Busted bones, broken dreams. Hold on tight, hear the screams. Bar lights fade, shadows creep. Fast track down, ain't no sleep. Empty hearts, tangled draws, riding hard, donkey's lows. Starlit nights, bitter wind, harness rage, deep within. Cattle cries through the haze, life ablaze, rodeo maze, rodeo dreams, ride or die. Cowboy sword, reaching sky, busted bones, broken dreams. Hold on tight, hear the screams. Rodeo dreams, ride or die. Cowboy sword, reaching sky. Busted bones, broken dreams. Hold on tight, hear the screams. Hear the screams. Rodeo dreams, ride or die. Cowboy sword, reaching sky. Busted bones, broken dreams. Hold on tight, hear the screams.
No, it's a real ending.
No, that's the real ending.
But
There
it
you
was
go.
almost-
Rodeo Dreams there from Waylon Summers
No, but-
from the latest album,
Buy it now.
Southern Nights. All proceeds go to charity.
But I'm going to support you on this because I fucking have to. It's my contractual agreement. But we don't go anyway. I'm glad it's going to charity. I actually like the songs. I
Great song.
did it last time. I like the songs. I could listen to that
Mm-hmm.
happily. In fact, I was air guitaring for everyone on the watching it because it's fucking great.
Yeah.
Right. That's not the issue. Anyway, I'm not going to go around it because we've gone around last. Right now then. You didn't. What have
No,
you
no,
done?
no, I've just switched from a different
That would have
screen.
been quite funny. That
Different
would have
screen.
actually been quite funny. So, me and Mark argue a lot, and Mark almost always makes huge claims, which he gets on Fox News, and
It's a complete mischaracterization.
and right wing websites. So
bullshit.
So when I say that's a lie, and you get the no, it isn't, right? So while we were doing that, I had a quick look. And
USA Today, that well-known Democrat rag.
because if you can't deal with the facts, you must attack
Okay,
anyone
so-
who says
so
it.
what about-
No. Let's start. This is mine now. You
Go
called
on.
me lying.
Go on.
Appalled. Veterans slam Trump's campaign attacks on Tim Waltz's military background. Just to fill it. Veterans.
Okay.
Yeah. But just in case anyone doesn't know, Tim Walz is the vice presidential pick by Kamala Harris, so it's the Democrat pick. He's come in. Harris and him have been electrified it because, there was no trouble. It was in trouble under Biden. because just Democrats couldn't get excited, and the constant attacks on his cognitive and age were having a serious effect. Now it's gone the other way, and now Trump looks like a weird old man who just wants to take rights away, give money to the rich, and work for theocracy. And he now sounds weird. And the guy who coined the term weird was Tim Walz, right? Democratic vice president nominee. Now, the attack Mark did, which the right do because they don't listen to facts, was to attack his 24-year record in the Army National Guard. And they basically said, and J.D. Vance in particular did it.
Who?
J.D. Vance. That's the.
You
won't know him. He's the Tory. He's the
you
Trump.
mispronounced it as usual.
As Vance, yeah. All right. Anyway, and he basically said that, which is what Mark was repeating, which is of course the right-wing echo chamber, is he turned around and basically said that, as you heard Mark say, that he's meant to be this hero, but he deliberately avoided his service when he was called up. So what you actually get when you look at the facts, and this was this comes from usatoday.com, but it's quoting specifically the veterans, and it's over 1,000 veterans. Hold on, over 1,000 veterans have signed an open letter, but the facts are there, and that's the bit you've got to address, which you won't do. So here it comes.
Give me a fact.
Here it comes. The alert order for Walz's unit to mobilize for Iraq was received on July the 14th. Wait, 2005. Almost 2 months after Walz had retired, and the unit mobilized on October the 12th.
Yes, they knew it was coming, though. There's an interview. Right. With his with his former commanding officer. It says, "We knew this was coming. We knew this was coming." The order didn't just come out of the blue.
So Walz, the governor of Minnesota, who's Democratic thing, joined the National Guard at high school at 17. And on 1981, and served until May the 16th, 2005. Walz said he retired from the Guard to run for Congress, which he did successfully in 2006. The alert order came on July the 14th. So what's really important here is in May, he'd done 20 years or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I just said, right? He'd done 20 years.
And then decided to leave just before getting sent to the Middle East.
So they were only called up then. So let's just be clear. Mark stated that they'd been called up and he got out of it. That's a lie, and it's wrong.
Not a lie.
It is a lie,
it's not
wrong.
a lie. When you got his former commanding officer says, "We knew this was coming.
Show this report.
We knew this was coming."
Show the report. And by the way, that might be his opinion, but the facts say that it didn't happen till months later.
Listen,
months later.
What knowledge do you have of the military?
Mark.
What knowledge? Hang on a minute. You're not a scientist. What knowledge do you have of the military?
Last time I heard is things are sometimes secret in the military, Mark, like deployment orders. Anyway, all I wanted to highlight was when you hear Mark state a fact that suits him, just go and check it with the media and see if it's true.
You have told me nothing. All you've told me is that when the order came, but they knew the order was coming. They were on a
now
rota.
You're asserting that.
No. This is from his former commanding officer.
Let's pick it up
Listen,
later.
The units
Mark,
were being brought in a rotation.
Mark,
they knew it was coming, and he got out.
Okay,
so
let's check it later.
Anyway. Bullshit to you. They didn't just leap it on them saying, "Well, you're going to Iraq tomorrow."
Because you never get orders in the military, do you, Mark?
Not
that
that
are just
way.
whatever
Not
they
that
write.
way you don't. Not when you're dealing with National Guardsmen who have families and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, so bullshit to you. Or you've told me, all you've given me is veterans' supposed opinions.
Well, I've certainly turned around and said what you said was
good.
wrong.
Well, there you go, and that doesn't really get you very much further, does it? Right. So we were going to talk about another matter that affects
go on.
you and I.
Oh dear.
To a great degree.
Premature ejaculation.
Interesting that's the first thing that popped into your mind.
Even more interesting, the long silent pause from you.
No.
You do know that your wife talks to my...
I was just trying to think of a...
You know, your wife talks...
tactical way to say, that's not really a problem for me.
But you know that your wife talks to my wife, so be careful.
I didn't think they talk about those things.
You think? They don't... Right, it was a joke. Of course they don't talk to me about it. They don't talk about it.
No.
You don't?
No.
Do you know what? I think you're right, Mark.
Anyway.
Right,
So tell us about, well, as an aside, tell us about your battle with premature ejaculation.
I haven't got a disability, and I was hoping to at least have that one.
But
especially as there might be someone out there who
I
could
think
cure it.
It was more the other side of the coin, really. We were going to have a bit of a chat about the effect of middle-aged upon otherwise, virile, fiery, testosterone-laden chaps.
I think, Mark, you need to lead off on this one. I'm going to follow.
It started with me revealing to my wife that I had was developing one of the.
Oh no! Don't tell them about that, Mark. Seriously, people will never quite look at you the same. Honestly, no, don't do it, Mark. Honestly, listen, Mark. There are acceptable disabilities,
right.
And I don't care how woke we are. There
right.
are unacceptable disabilities without everyone going, "Fuck, you're old."
Right. Okay, so I do have.
Don't.
No, I do have a number of problems.
You're my friend.
I have both. I've had both hips replaced.
Mm-hmm. That's not a problem.
My knees are shot to bits.
Still not a
this
problem.
This is all due to a lot of physical stuff during my.
Everyone respects
service.
that, Mark. Don't tell them
I
the
now
other
have
thing.
a bunion.
No.
That's sexiest of all.
Oh, Jesus. And Mark, did you actually show us at the meal? And I didn't. Hang on, that was someone whose name now can't be mentioned at the meal.
Did Jane do a demonstration of a bunion or something like that? She didn't actually get her foot out, did she?
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know if she did.
Anyway.
Bunions at our age it's like, do you remember though when you were a kid? Could you ever, and I'm talking about everyone who's listening to this, could you ever imagine the day that anyone could use the word bunion, and you're not immediately thinking of 89-year-olds sipping soup without teeth?
I know.
And we're having these conversations now.
When we were kids, it wasn't the 89-year-olds doing it; it was the 60-year-olds doing it.
No, that's the good side, but.
I am 64 now, and I'm
what? Right, you said
I'm that Beatles age. Will you still need me?
You said your hips and you said your sort of knees, and I look at it and I kind of go, well, you yomped across, fucking hills.
I didn't yomp. I tabbed.
Sorry,
Marines yomp.
Right.
Airborne Forces tab.
Right. But basically, you walk straight.
Which is short for tactical advance to battle.
Whereas yomping's short for
being gay.
Working really. Oh, well, that lost us our army segment of the audience. That was nice.
That's with Glenn out there.
Oh, that was nice.
Glenn, our great listener, who is
actually, is that the least offensive thing you've said to Glenn so far?
Probably.
Anyway,
hang on. Let me say, shout out to my good friend Glenn. He's an ex-bootneck. That's a Marine for those that don't know.
Is he the pillar biter, or is that someone else who's your friend?
I made him some rum, and I did a label for it with the Marines crest on it, called it Pillow Biter, as a tribute from the Airborne Forces to the Marines.
Just checking.
But Glenn is a good, solid guy, and I have great respect.
Does he have bunions?
He's done his bit. He's done more out there than I ever have.
Does he have bunions?
No, but his knees are shot to bits. Yeah. In fact, I did an AI song, which he gave me the prompt was about a fat ex-Marine with dodgy knees. So I shall play that.
Is it any good?
It is actually. I've got to find it.
Right,
I'll find it. And,
right, when we do. So let's widen out just slightly. Yeah. And we're not going to include the ladies here because I think it's for a lady. I think it's for a lady to come in and go, yeah, this is all the shit we have to do.
Mm-hmm.
It is a kind of weird transition. I'm 61, you're 64, is that right? Is that
64,
where we are?
yep.
Right.
Yep.
And it's fucking weird because in our heads we're still way, 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 way younger.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh God, yeah. I'm about 28. I always think.
But we're fighting, aren't we? We 1 minute it's like my eyesight, and it's suddenly glasses or contact lenses and shit like that, and that's relatively minor. That's where it begins. And for lots of people, it's hair loss. I'm not so bothered, but I get aches, I get pains, I get all the bullshit. And the point is though that we are actually living with it, aren't we? And here's the question: quality. No, I'm going to throw. Yeah, go on. You give me yours, but I want to ask you the great one. When you were 20, you'd have looked at anybody saying bunions, anybody saying knees, hips, replacements, all that shit, and you'd have gone, "Fucking old person, why are they still alive? Where is there any joy in life?" So I want to
thought
ask
that.
you, better now or better when you were in your 20s?
Oh, better now.
Life.
Any
Right,
day.
justify that, because it doesn't sound
okay.
right.
Right. I'm in pain all the time.
Really?
Constantly in pain. There's not a moment that I'm not in pain. All right. But, you kind of, block it out. I mean, I'm partially sighted in my left eye, but I don't notice it most of the time because my other eye works fine and the brain compensates and so on. Sometimes.
But if you do that with your eyes, you really
if I do
notice
that,
that's gone.
Really, you are.
Is that even with glasses?
It's
got
nothing to do with
on.
glasses. It's not correctable with.
It's not astigmatism. What is it?
No,
Just damage to the
It was a
eyesight.
central serous retinopathy from just like getting knocked around.
Oh, head injury.
Well, I can't say that.
Right, but probably repetitive bangs of some sort.
Yeah,
or another.
just getting fucking
Older.
Yeah, no, this was 25 years ago. This really.
So as you live, you pick
What
up
it is
shit.
basically the retina detaches from the back of eye and you get a collection of fluids, and it comes and it goes.
Yeah.
It comes and it goes in its severity, but you look a bit. Actually odd. Actually, it's restored you to some sort of normality if I close my good eye. But it affects. But if my other eye's open, I'm fine. Brain compensates completely.
But you said better. You said better than your 20s. Now, apart from being married to the lovely Claire, the lovely Claire. Apart from that,
yeah.
How is it?
Well,
better?
life is better in so many ways. I mean,
You're a lot richer.
Well, we're not. But I've achieved the things I wanted to achieve in life. I'm just happy. I'm.
Do you come across as happy, Mark? When people are listening to this
but I am.
podcast, do they go, "Oh yeah, Mark's the happy chappy"?
I'm contented. I mean, I'm having fun. I've got a beautiful, lovely wife. We go on lots of holidays. We've got more than enough money to do the things we want to do.
Which doesn't include yachts. I want to be clear.
I've got my health, apart from the aches and pains and so on. But I've earned those, I exercise, so I keep my muscle bulk up. Claire's brilliant with the food she buys, and we have. It's all very healthy and all that. Really, we're not not vegetarian, but not far off it.
Hold on.
I still drink too much.
Right, yeah, you still drink too much. But sorry, on the vegetarian thing, Mark. I mean, is it that far away, given your latest foray into animal husbandry?
Well, Claire wants chickens, and Claire is going to get chickens. But it's not for it's for the eggs. No. Listen. It's I'm not a vegetarian. I have to say I have huge reservations about eating. Factory farmed meat. We won't buy, and I won't eat, cheap chicken from the supermarket. The stuff we buy is, free range organic. We pay a lot for it, but we can.
That's one of the things about being older.
We can do.
But being older, it does. Yeah. It for most people it relates.
I get it. I get it for most people, but we can do that. And I could happily go to the point where I only ate. A vegetarian diet. I don't say vegan diet. I'd say a vegetarian diet because we can have chickens, we can keep them, we can look after them, and so on and so forth. But then only eat meat that I'd gone out and shot,
including the chickens.
Not the chickens.
Oh my God, Claire's! You're gonna have to make up some
story,
story, aren't you?
Target. I would go out. I would happily only go out and eat meat that I had hunted myself. I've done deer stalking.
Would you shoot her chickens from your rooftop?
Of course not.
And then gone on holiday.
Silly. That's just silly. No, if we want a chicken, we have one a week. We buy a high welfare, organic chicken, and it's had a decent life because it's tougher, okay, and it's got thick leg bones, which shows that it's been able to move around.
So you don't think Claire's going to look after her chickens in a high welfare way?
No, of course she is. But
then shoot the fucking thing.
They're not to eat. They're going to be basic.
Oh, come on.
They're going to be occasional egg-laying pets.
And we've got to get Claire on. Hang on, we've got to get Claire on for this one. It'll be brilliant.
Listen.
Wait. When she gets her chickens, would you bring Claire and her chicken on?
Listen, the chickens... The chicken population control is not going to be controlled by me. It'll be controlled by the local fox population. Okay, so that's going to be a serious issue.
Because you don't know how to.
Apparently, if you go and if you get a man to pee around a chicken run, it deters foxes. Foxes don't like male.
Do you know someone who you might know who might volunteer for that?
Anyway, listen,
if you bring them over,
I would probably happily be. Listen, I've become a real softy in my old age. Okay, in my old, I just hate. I won't squash a spider. I'll put them out. Flies probably when they're a bit of pain. I might whack one of those. But
a fly.
A fly.
I mean, most people draw the line at wasps. Like wasps.
No, I'll put a wasp out.
Wasp are fuckers.
No,
wasp
I'll
are
put a
fuckers.
wasp out.
You don't kill wasps.
No, I don't kill wasps.
Really?
I don't really kill anything unless I kind of have to. I'll try. I'll try and let a fly out.
You have tried to kill me at least 4 times that I'm aware of.
That's different.
And I see it in your eyes. And there's no fucking mercy fly stuff in your eyes.
It's necessary. But I won't. But I would shoot. I would hunt for meat. I would go out and shoot it. I'd go out and shoot rabbits. But everything I ate, everything I shot, would be eaten.
Yeah, but my line is everything on a tray that's best before I'll eat.
Well, there you go.
Right, anyway, but you're saying about age. So the point is, which we didn't really get to.
No, but
you are happier. You are happier now.
The only way I would.
What was your best age? Can you actually pick a decade and go, if I had to, that was the decade that was the best of my life.
The best of my life. Okay. Yeah, I would probably say my late 20s.
Yeah.
I would say my late 20s because, I was in the military. I was doing some fantastic stuff. I was having the time of my life. I had no ties. I lived out of, my Bergen, my rucksack and my kit bag.
As it should be.
And it was like, where am I tomorrow?
I think I'd probably go to the same era, although I think both of us have enjoyed each decade, hence the fact you can get to this decade and go, this is pretty cool as well. I think we all sort of have that. So there was a point going to go on, but it's lost me and lost.
But let me say the other reason for that was that I'd done and was doing that, but I had a plan, and getting where I got to in the military gave me confidence. It gave me the confidence that if I put my mind to something, I can do it. And then I decided I wanted to be a lawyer. So I had a plan in my mind. This is what I was going to do.
And life changes, which is the interesting.
Yeah, because I knew this wasn't going to last forever. I had to make a choice. And so I did English A level at night school. I did it in a year and so on. And then I got a place at what was then Leeds Polytechnic to study law. And that was that. But that was the thing that really got me over that threshold. And I was having fun. I mean, I was having real fun.
Oh, sorry, I remember
in my late 20s.
No, it's great. So late 20s.
So
here's one.
From 24 to 31.
Unusually, I actually did some research for today's one.
Yeah.
What age do men actually fancy women? So like guys our age, 20-year-old guys, 40-year-olds.
At what age?
I fancied them all
my life.
What is the peak age that we fancy?
Peak age that we fancy. That's an interesting one.
I have the actual figure, and I went to about 8 sites, all scientific sites, and I got the same answer from everyone.
Let me tell you.
So I'm interested. What do you think it is?
Let me tell you my answer.
And by the way, if you're at home, vote.
My answer has.
What do you think, men, all men? What's the age they go for?
Right. Well, let me tell you my age.
Yep.
The age for me, and it's been pretty steady all the way throughout. Because as a young lad, I always liked what they call, I think, MILFs. it was always the third sort of when I was 18. I was in a relationship with a 26-year-old Catholic school teacher.
Yep.
And his name,
nicely done.
Whose name was Eleanor. And Eleanor, if you're out there,
but they all go to jail now.
Well,
when you're 13,
well, maybe. But I tell you what, I wasn't complaining. But for me, the age that I've liked has always really been sort of 30 to 45, if I had to put it as my but I. Mature ladies, listen, I tell you, it's like they all get that. I mean, very young girls are like, green
We're talking
to
about
me.
fancy. So let's kind of.
I would say if I had to put,
if you had to have a one night stand, what would be the age that you'd be
mid
most
30s,
attracted to?
mid 30s.
It's 18 to 24.
No, well, not for me. Not for me. Mid 30s.
What I'm saying,
when I met
these
Claire,
studies-
she was 33.
No, these studies. It's not about what we want to say,
Yeah.
and it's not about what we want to do. And also, our daughters are now older. You know, I've got a daughter older than that, and it's
So
just
you don't fancy
it's-
her anymore then?
It's just don't do that one. Don't even do that one. Yeah. I'm from Manchester. We don't make those kind of jokes, right?
No.
Not ever. No, I think it's really interesting, and it's again, it's science rather than cultural thing. And by the way, obviously it's good. And in fact, I have always liked my age.
Yeah,
group,
age
you know.
appropriate.
No, I've always liked
Sexual
really liked that. I've really liked that,
proclivities.
but there is no question. You know, the research. I mean, I must have hit about 8 sites, and it's Science America. It's whatever.
Yeah.
It's and it's basic biology.
Well, of
It's
course
just
it
basic
is.
biology.
Of course
there is
it
a
is.
part of you. There is a part of you that wants to have sex with. It doesn't mean you do it. That's the difference about growing up and having a relationship. But there is a part of you that simply goes, they are the most fertile ones. They're the most fertile women. They are also. I had a laugh with someone.
Most trouble.
No, of course. But I also had a laugh with. I think I was out with Jane and whatever a couple of days ago, and we're laughing, which is of course that they're such pains in the ass.
God,
right?
women. Are you saying women are a pain in the
very
ass?
very young women.
They
but
are.
Also,
bloody
but
hell.
also,
I wouldn't know what to say to one.
No. But also, they don't know. They don't know how sleazy men are. They don't know. In other words,
know
the bottom
anything. I
line,
find that deeply
if
unattractive.
you wanted to lie to a woman, you're kind of going to start 18 to 24 because by about 24, they've sussed it out.
Why would you want to lie to a woman?
Because Darwin says you do.
Well, I'd never do that.
No, neither would I. No.
No, but really,
Anyway,
for
so
me,
moving on.
for me,
So
for
I
me,
just think, by the way, it's an interesting piece of science that for whatever anyone says,
peak totty is 30s for
it's
me.
just not.
It always has. No, really, it always has been. It really always has been.
Yeah,
Perhaps maybe
That's
it's an
cultural.
Oedipus.
Cultural thing.
I'm going to pay you a bit of.
Wait! Did you just throw in because I fancy my mum?
No,
You sort of did.
no.
Yeah, you really sort of did. If you understand Oedipus.
Well, of course I
you
understand that, but
right,
it's-
so you basically just said you stopped
No,
the
no,
conversation.
no, no,
When
it's a-
you
it's
stopped
a-
the conversation and went because the
No,
truth
no,
is
no, no,
because
no,
the
no,
truth
no,
is
no, no,
I want to
no,
have
no,
sex
no,
with my own mum.
No. An Oedipus complex is when you go for someone who is like a surrogate for your mother, but that's,
That doesn't make
no,
it
it's
better.
not. That's not what it was.
Right, moving on. Music.
Okay,
Run
I was
to
going to play you a
music.
bit. I'm going to play you a bit of
Run
Glenn's
to music.
Fat Marine's anthem.
Yeah,
okay,
go
so
on.
when I've keyed in the thing, so this is for my friend Glenn, an ex Marine, ex bootneck.
Is he the one on the selection with you? Or
No.
is
Glenn was a
different one?
Marine. You've met Glenn.
Yeah, I know I have, but I didn't.
Yeah,
I never work out who
he's
you.
a Marine. It's
shared a
no, it's
bunk
not Marine.
with.
He's it's Airborne Forces.
Oh, so he's the pillar buyer.
Yes.
Right, God,
Glenn's-
because. Right, okay. Thanks, Glenn.
So-
Don't
so
hurt me.
anyway, poor Glenn, he really suffers. He suffers with his knees. So he gave me the prompt for this. So anything pejorative in this with regard to Glenn is not of my doing.
It's even worse than the Spotify
Hang on.
queuing in songs.
It's not-
Down in the bar stool at an ex-Marine with dodgy knees, gut hanging over his old belt buckle. Life's a grind, but he's tough as knuckles.
Strutted proud, now he slowed down every step like thunder pounds. Urging,
Cursing his creaky knees, belly laughs echo wild and free. Ooh, he's a fat Marine, once a soldier lean and mean. Now his battles ain't so clean. Life's tough when you live in the dream.
uniforms tight, can't find the seams. Memories haunt him in his dreams.
Lost his edge but gained some peace, fighting life with busted knees.
Butterflies
Anyway, Anyway, so I'll tag the full version of that on at the end for anybody listening. But Glenn knows it really well.
God bless you, Glenn.
Good.
Right, what are we on now? Come on.
Good. Well, are we on a proper track? We're on a proper track now.
No. Let's.
You want more?
I want more.
Oh, riots.
Oh yeah, riots. Your riots, in fact.
What do you mean, my riots?
Your right wing. They're your riots. You enabled them. You said it was okay, and you've treated the law with this. Yeah, you and Johnson, and the whole taking back and saying it's okay if you're supporting Trump. So long as you riot on our side, it's okay. Oh, and by the way, if you drive a car into a left-wing person, that's okay too. They're right-wing riots. And although you'll probably go, why do you say the right wing, John?
Well, they're a proportion of the population that feel utterly disenfranchised. Now, listen,
right-wing
just
Nazis,
shut up.
The Nazis.
Shut up a second.
Right-wing Nazis.
I condemn the riots completely.
Everybody does.
Okay?
Sorry, everybody does.
But I think you had something.
But I think they've got a good point.
No, you confuse explanation with excuse.
Go on.
Okay. Go on. When people saying that there are, the white working class feel disenfranchised.
Doesn't mean it's true.
No, but that's what I said.
Go on.
Okay, when people say the white working class feels disenfranchised, okay, that's not an excuse. It's an explanation.
Okay, but why don't you just go fascists also feel
but why do you have to characterize it?
Because they are fascists.
No, but
they want right-wing. They want right-wing military force to attack minorities. That's what they want.
What are you talking about? You're making it up. It's kind of,
they want to burn. They want to burn out hostels and burn out mosques.
Where did the military force come from?
I'm pretty sure when you throw bombs or throw petrol at things, and you try and burn people out. Is that wrong to say military? Did I get it wrong? When they burn
listen,
cars.
Read my lips. What they did was wrong.
Got it.
Don't confuse explanation with excuse.
Right. I'm not, but sometimes the line gets blurred. What do you think about? What do you think about someone who fans the flames of it? Then
Farage, you
anyone. Musk has done it more. Elon Musk has done it more, but anybody who fans the flames with disinformation.
What do you mean fans the flames?
Well, takes the ideology that these people have and rams it up and goes. For instance, one of the main ones Farage was doing was suggesting that this guy was because he'd picked it up on a right-wing website. It was wrong, but he picked it up, and he basically was suggesting that this guy was an asylum seeker who'd come on for a boat and was on a MI5 watch list.
Show me.
Right, but
show me where he said that.
Before we do that, just a moment. It wasn't true, but even if it was, so let's just imagine.
You read me a quote from Farage earlier.
I'm going to get it in a minute.
And you show me where he said that.
I'm going to get it in a minute, right? But what I'm asking you is this: a question you can answer while I'm just getting the main thing. But what I want to ask you is this: let's assume it was true, just for a minute, that this particular guy who went and butchered children with a knife was on a boat. Let's just assume for a minute it was. Yeah. And let's assume he was a Muslim. Yeah. Right? And let's assume he even posed a risk and the MI5 had identified that risk and had him on a watch list with, 150,000 others, right? The fact that is being asked in the context of fascist bullies trying to burn out.
Hang on.
I'm asking you a question. I'm asking you the question. The fact that was being said to justify.
Stupid question.
No, it's really not.
It's a stupid
well, no one listening thinks it's stupid.
Ask me, do I think that would be sufficient reason to riot? No, it wouldn't be.
Okay. So what do you think of someone who says that encourages and justifies the riots because it says
like who?
You have a good point, like Farage.
Okay, show me.
I will. Right. I was asking you if it was true, which it wasn't true. But if it had been true,
no, I'm sorry.
But why can't I ask you that?
Two things.
Then you talk about something else, and I will get it because I did get it. Right. I did get it. But if you want me to do that and just stop the conversation, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Can we have some?
We can have some music. Okay, we can
No,
we can
mood
have
music.
another. No, we can have. Listen, I'm good. I have done various different genre of AI music.
God,
so,
touchy.
huh?
Nothing.
Where do you come out with this stuff? So I did say, yes, this is a good one. On the last occasion, I played an operatic piece, and I was going to show the steps to which the AI did to sort of reproduce things that happen in various recordings, and I played something and it was the wrong one. So I'm going to play this one now. It is more of a sort of West End opera type thing, but it's a damn good piece of music, and listen to what it does at the end. It's called Amore del Principe, okay, the prince's love, and I'd like to know what you think.
Nel castello mio regale ho trovato un amore senza eguale, tra mille stelle nel cielo blu. Gli occhi suoi sono il mio chiaro. Con lei il sole sempre splende, cuori ardenti nulla li rende. Nel giardino del destino, lei è il mio divino cammino. Amore mio eterno, luce mia dolce eterno, nel mio regno sarò suo principe, lei la regina del mio cuore. Sotto la luna d'argento il nostro amore sarà evento, sussurri nella notte oscura, solo il suo nome la mia cura. Principessa del mio destino, con te io vedo il divino, la nostra favola è scritta nel cielo, tra le stelle scolpita. Amore mio eterno, luce mia dolcello, nel mio regno sarò suo principe, la regina del mio cuore. Sotto la luna d'argento il nostro amore sarà vento, sussurri la notte oscura, solo il suo nome la mia cura. Principessa del mio destino, con te io vedo il divino, la nostra favola è scritta nel cielo, tra le stelle scolpita. Amore mio eterno, luce mia dolcello, nel mio regno sarò suo principe, la regina del mio cuore. Principessa del cuore.
Now you see the AI put the cheering and the clapping in at the end.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought that was you.
No. They did that. That did that. Now, isn't that a banging piece of?
It's like last week. They are two of the most enjoyable opera songs I've heard. It seemed without. I mean,
oh, hang on. There we go.
Oh, sorry, not one word.
No,
of
we
that.
have it. No, we did get that. We did get that, but a little quieter than
my answer was censored by Mark, and I want to ask questions about why he won't allow the truth out. Just like the response to him sending me away to get the quotes.
Yes.
First of all, but before we do that, but given it was muted, that song was, I think, like last week's opera one, two of the nicest opera songs I've heard in ages. And yet, I mean, Mark Papp, who's listening as well, or should be listening with Jackie, his brother is an opera trainer, right? So he actually trains
really
opera singers.
Yeah.
No, he's very interesting. I'm sure that he would listen to that and go,
Be interesting to play that to someone who really knows opera and say, which opera does this come from?
I'm reasonably confident he's not. Yeah, it was a bit. Sorry about that. A bit too much wine. We're heading towards the mystery whiskey. But almost certainly, I suspect he's not a listener because, as all our loyal listeners know, there are people who are perhaps slightly higher than us in society who
steady on,
who don't routinely listen to podcasts like this. But I absolutely agree with you.
It would be interesting to play it to someone. Say, look, what opera is this from?
I'm going to do exactly that challenge. I'm going to turn around.
Do that.
Exactly him. I'm going to turn on to Mark and ask him if he will do that to his own brother.
Yeah. I'll send you the file then.
No, both. I need last week's and this week's. Right. And
the last week's was proper opera. This is a bit more.
No, but that'd be nice. I think if we can get Mark in on the gag and send it to his brother and just go. We've got we got a podcast that's into obscure opera. Can you name this opera? And what I'm assuming he's going to turn around is go, that is just pop music packaged as opera. But I may be wrong. I agree. The test is good. And if we can get him on, that would be really good. Anyway, before we left, we may have had one of our factual spats. And so I've put in... and
you were going to show me where
I'm going to say
Nigel Farage spread a rumour.
Well, I'm going to give you what I've got. Okay. Right? And the prompt is, in all fairness, I Google... Farage claims re-stabbing, because I just wanted to get into what he did or didn't say. So that's the prompt. And I got Sky News has come up with this. He's been accused, and I appreciate the phrase is accused, that he's Tommy Robinson in a suit over comments he made about the stabbing.
And the comments were...
No, I'm guessing that. Okay. The Reform leader, which Mark voted for, I mean, that's where he is on the spectrum.
Definitely Tory, though.
Posted a video on X before the riots broke out, questioning the accuracy of the police's assessment that Monday's knife attack was not terror-related. Right, so the police say it's not terror-related, and he posts something before the riots kicked off. So we know they died. We know it's an absolute flashpoint. And I'm going to get here, EDL Sporters, he speculated about whether the stabbing suspect was monitored by security services.
No, give me the quote. I don't want to hear what someone says that he did. Show me the quote.
Mark, you asked me to go running. I went running. Brendan Cox, husband of murdered MP Joe Cox, said the remarks were right out of the Trump playbook.
What Trump remarks?
Wait,
give me
the
remarks.
I'm going to. But Trump, as you know, never says it. He
give me the remarks.
He does dog whistles to them. Makes him nothing better than that. So let me
give me the remarks.
I'm going to.
The thing you quoted me earlier was him criticising, saying that the riots were stoked by the fact that there was insufficient information to quell the public media speculation about where he came from.
But he's making it happen because he is.
No, he's not. What
he is
by
a
saying?
He's the leader of a party who's saying, "Hold on." He questioned why the incident was being treated as non-terror incident, as opposed to going, the police have said it's non-terror incident. Until we know some reason to disbelieve them, it's non-terror, which would have helped stop the riots, but he didn't. He questioned whether it's and suggested. Wait, here's the
quote.
Hold on, here's the next
I don't
bit.
want to hear what someone says he said.
And suggested the truth about the identity of the suspect was being withheld.
Give me the quote.
I'm trying to get there. Mark, it's difficult. I don't
want to hear what someone says he said in The Guardian.
Okay, hang on.
I want to hear
hang on,
what
I've got
he
it.
said.
Hang on, I've got it. So the pressure you're putting us under, which if I did that to you and go, all your right-wing beliefs, give me the quote. I mean, you always go, the people who say it isn't true. Right, okay, so I've got the quote now. Finally,
I got the
quote.
quite say it like
right,
that.
Very close. Right, grilled on his comments by LBC Tuesday, Farage pointed the finger at the police, who in the UK do not routinely name suspects under the age of 18, which we both know is true. Quote, what happened in Southport would not have been the same magnitude.
Okay, firstly, where was the announcement that we're not going to say anything because the person involved is under 18?
Can I actually give the quote you've asked me
You
for?
can.
Sound right. What happened in Southport would not have been the same magnitude had the truth been told very, very quickly. So in other words, they didn't respond to him quickly enough. The leading Brexiteer argument. Had the questions been answered,
Hang on. What did you say then? I didn't get that.
It's past the event. I agree. All right, but hang on. He declined to retract his Twitter video, Elon Musk thing. Instead arguing, right, here we go. I don't believe we're being told the truth yet about this person I want to know. Right? Now, in a situation...
Well, where's that inciting people? What he's saying is...
What about dog whistling, Mark? You don't believe in dog whistling?
Where's the dog whistle there?
Because the people who attacked immigrants in hotels believed they weren't being told the truth.
No, they didn't. What they believed...
No.
What they believed was that this was an asylum seeker.
Yes,
that there's someone who was on the watch list.
And he's saying...
he was saying that you're...
I don't believe we're being told the full truth yet, which implies, given the police are saying it's not terror-related, implies it is.
But they don't trust... But why don't you just say
They don't trust the police because people like Farage are going, I don't believe we're being told the truth.
You can't trust the police. Listen,
Stop. If you your last comment... No, stop. You just said... You can't trust the police and their statements. So you are on the same side as going, when the police go, it's not terror-related, it's a fucking lunatic, right? When they say that, you incite the riots as well, because that's exactly what the thugs believe.
Bullshit.
You can't trust the police. Your exact words, here and now, you can't trust the police. The right wing always attack institutions, right? Always do.
Oh, God.
Hang on, he added, and you wanted quotes. I gave the police the opportunity to damp down speculation. They should have done it. And wait, let's continue.
Why didn't they?
Wait, I bet they regret not doing it. You know who actually regrets not doing it? The people who could have been killed when the hotels were put on fire, the shopkeepers who were burnt out, the Muslims who were attacked. They're the ones who regret it.
I can't believe that you are that naive. I really don't. And you never cease to amaze me on this front. All he is saying is that if the police had
answered his questions on Twitter,
had released a narrative,
they did. They said it's not terror-related.
That countermanded the misinformation on social media.
Re-quoting.
He wasn't re-quoting. Show me where he re-quoted it. What he said is that if the police had actually told the truth, rather than allowing the social media speculation to run rife, then this may not have happened.
Dog whistle.
What does that mean?
Well, you know what a dog whistle is, Mark, because you follow Trump and you'd vote for Trump.
What does that mean in that context?
Trump is the king of the dog whistle.
Why is it dog whistling to say,
because
if you told us the truth,
hang on, if you're asking
we wouldn't have made a wrong decision?
No, that's after the event when he got criticised, right? Yeah. You asked what a dog whistle is. You know what a dog whistle is? Go on then. When all the thugs are thinking, let's attack the immigrants because it was one of them that killed these children.
That's not
wrongly.
Dog whistling.
Wait.
Saying, look, these people would not have attacked if they'd had true information to counter them.
Never got to dog whistle, right? That's what he said afterwards. At the time, he said...
Show me.
I just did.
No, you didn't. You showed me what he said at the time. You had to admit that was said after.
Yes, but it was... But
show me what he said at the time.
At the time,
show me.
Hang on, he declined to retract his X video, which was before.
Which said,
I don't believe we're being told the full truth yet.
And they weren't.
Yes, they were.
No, we weren't being told the whole
Yes,
truth.
we were. No, Mark, we were.
weren't being
Okay,
told the
well,
whole
hang on.
truth.
It's fine, Mark.
No.
It's fine, Mark. Hold on. You've made a statement.
To say
What?
it's not.
No,
to
stop,
say,
stop,
merely
stop.
say it's not terror-related.
Mark, start. Sorry, you made a really clear statement
merely
there.
say
a
it's
really
not-
clear statement that could have killed people and was certainly intended to.
Grow up.
So, Mark, it's all right.
up.
We weren't told the truth. What have you been told that was factually incorrect by the police?
All the police said that it was
Not
that
terror-related.
It was not terror-related,
Right.
but that's not enough.
No, you just said we weren't told the truth. What weren't we told,
Okay, all right.
Mark?
It could. All right. Let's. What does that statement?
What
Hang on,
truth were
just
we
no.
not
No,
told?
you asked me. So to say it's not terror-related. Okay, what does that exclude? It doesn't exclude that. It certainly doesn't counter the social media post that this was a failed asylum seeker or asylum seeker. Someone who'd come across the boats and done this. To say that it wasn't terror-related does nothing to dispel that at all, does it? And that was what was going around on social media. If they had said, I think it was a 16, 17-year-old Rwandan boy from a family who'd lived in the country for many years and who just moved to Liverpool because his father had got a job. That would have been a different thing. That's the truth.
What if they, by the way, this is before the riots, i.e. within a couple of days of the police literally picking up dead children.
Well,
off.
did they not know that by
what
then?
What were they supposed to do, Mark? Well, I assume they're supposed to answer Farage's questions instantly.
No, they're supposed to give enough.
do their job, you were going to say.
Within a couple of days. Yeah, well, of course, yes, within a couple of days they'd have known that by then, and you know it. If
I
they'd have
think the
said
fact-
that,
I think you-
then
the
there
fact
would have
you-
been no justification for the riots at all. What the police did
There was
they
no
did
justification for the riots at all.
There is no justification for the riots at all. What the police did nothing. They did nothing to countermand the social media misinformation that was going on.
Right.
And that's all
I've got
Nigel
another quote.
Farage has
I've
said.
got another quote. And by the way, I want to check this quote because it makes my point in a sense so well that I want to check that it's true.
All right.
But on Tuesday afternoon, and we can go and check the post. On Tuesday afternoon, before the riots began, Mr. Farage had posted a video to social media responding to the attack, questioning whether the incident was being treated as terror, which we've talked about, and asking whether the truth. Are you ready? Asking whether and this is the quote, truth is being withheld from us.
Well, it was. The truth that this was a 17-year-old Rwandan boy, son of two Rwandan immigrants who had moved to Liverpool from London within the last few weeks, was being withheld.
And he
It
also
was
asked-
being withheld.
He also asked whether the suspect, who is 17, under 18, and has not been identified, which is normal, was being monitored by the security services.
Well, then the answer is no. It's either yes or no.
Mark, do you
asking
think-
the question. You cannot criticize someone for asking a question in a vacuum of information.
Unless
I mean,
you're dog-
what world do you live in?
unless you're dog whistling to the hard right.
Bullshit. Honestly, I
In a statement the same day, the
expect-
Merseyside police had stressed the incident is not currently being treated as terror-related.
Well, I expect better of you, John.
Well, actually, you expect better of Brendan Cox,
I'm
the
really not
husband
getting
of
I'm
Ms.
sorry,
Cox, who was murdered by far-right terrorists. And he says, this is why Farage deserves...
people-
No, let me get his quote out. This is why Farage deserves the label far-right. Everyone who is associated with him, has normalised him or promoted him should be ashamed.
What
this is
did
vile.
he say that justifies that criticism? You've just been through it all, and all he said is, we're not being told what's going on. And we weren't being told what was going on. So why does it justify
We're not
that?
told because some MP goes...
Why does it
We're not
justify it?
told because
Listen, I'm
some
sorry,
right-wing
people-
MP goes, tell me everything, because if you don't, I'll go around going, you won't tell me the truth. Right, next.
Whiskey.
Next. Whiskey. Yeah, actually, no, I was thinking that one of the problems is we're being a bit tame because there's just not enough alcohol involved. I was thinking that.
Right, we're going to have a song.
Can we go back, by the way, to anybody who hasn't heard our thing before? We're leaving out some of the basic tenets. So I think we should just take a moment, step back. Two 6-year-old white men argue the shit, right, out of everything. And that's where we come from. But the mix is a few things. We both know the law in the sense that we're both ex-barristers and Mark's a current barrister. The other one is that we drink quite copiously. So if you're still with us at this point, we kind of get to the end of the wine and go, this isn't good enough. Because actually we can't come out of our shells.
No.
So we have the mystery whiskey.
Do you want to do that now, or do we have a track first?
Whiskey. I need
whiskey. Okay, whiskey it is.
You need to explain. It may not be whiskey.
Right. Now we started this off as the mystery whiskey, and it was whiskey, and yes, we sort of tested each other's palate every week by alternately buying something that was interesting and challenging, and getting the other person to basically drink it and really make who cares what they say. So the purpose was just to drink this stuff. Anyway, so we then started to build up a rather extensive library of whiskies, which we even weren't able to work our way through in any reasonable speed. So we broadened our horizon. We introduced a bit of diversity and inclusivity into our alcohol choices.
Because we are that woke.
We are that woke indeed. And anyway, so I was last week.
What was it last week?
It was Metaxa, Greek brandy,
which is quite different from whiskey. I like that actually.
It was good. But anyway, it's within the alcoholic category, so it's fine. So anyway, we do introduce this segment with a number of interesting jingles, and here's one of them.
Mysteriosi no sekandesu.
That wasn't the one I meant to hit.
That was the most interesting.
It's time for the mystery whiskey.
If indeed it is whiskey, right?
If indeed it is whiskey,
it's my turn. I place the black bag of mystery whiskey on the table.
Hang on, we got another one. Hang on, I just want to play this one.
Well, I reckon it's time
for a drop of the crater now, don't you? I'm going to have to do some new ones.
Oh, dear, yes.
Good. So John's got the bag of mystery, which contains the whiskey of mystery. And I now have to avert my eyes.
He now has to avert his eyes. Wow. And we have to rely on sound effects. Hang on. Oh, shit.
Yep. Just making sure we're recording.
Cut. Oh, shit. Hang on a minute.
What have you done?
It says it's easy to peel this shit off, and it's not. It's oh, fucking hell. I have to go and get a
twist
knife.
cap.
Oh, fuck off. No, that didn't work. Oh, hang on. It tears the other way. Right. Okay, hang on. Wait. Sound effects. Hang on. Can you hear it? Look at that.
I can hear a bottle being
there you go.
Good.
Let's see if we can get the rest. Don't avert your eyes. Well, that wasn't very good. Oh, okay. It's a screw top. This isn't.
Is it a screw top?
It is a screw top. Right. No. Hang on.
Making all the right noises
nice,
so far as that's concerned.
Right, hang on, that's your one, my one.
Okay. Sounds like you're pouring fairly generous quantities.
I am fucking... Right, hang on, down on the floor.
Okay.
And the of doom.
Can I look?
You can.
Oh, no, that's got a grand colour to it, so it has.
Right, okay. And can you do the rest of it in an Irish accent? It may be appropriate.
I will. Right.
Oh, right.
So
we're in the look first.
So hang on a minute.
Okay.
Right, that's got a grand colour. It looks a bit too dark for an Irish, to me, but that doesn't mean.
So you think I'm trying to throw you off?
You've done it. Look at the size. Look at the size of that compared. Look at the size.
Mark has deep-seated issues that I tend to be bigger than him.
He always pours himself more than everybody else. That's got a grand colour.
Have a smell.
But no. One step at a time.
No.
One step at a time.
Oh, can I pretend to do an Irish accent?
You can do an Irish accent. Try and do an Irish accent.
No. Och, no. Nay. Yeah, right.
You wouldn't be trying to do a Northern Irish accent there, would you?
Nay.
No. It's got a great colour, which makes me think that it could be.
This is only looks.
All right, okay. It could be because the only Irish whiskies I know that really dark as this, maybe one of the Northern Irish ones, maybe like a Bushmills. But
first of all, do we think it's whiskey?
Well, I do think it's whiskey. I do think it's whiskey.
I will give you that. I think you have to give each bit. Yes, it's whiskey.
Now, Bushmills has a bit of a nose to it. I'm not a great fan of Bushmills, I have to say.
Well, that's all right because it ain't Bushmills.
Right, well, that's all right.
No,
Okay.
I'm giving you the roots,
okay,
the
okay.
clues. So it's not Bushmills.
Okay.
And it's quite a strong nose, isn't it?
It is quite a strong nose.
Pleasant though.
Are we in the Emerald Oil though?
No,
Are
I
we?
think that's something you have to decide.
Right.
But do we agree
I'm
it's
not
got a strong
convinced
nose?
we
Do we
are.
go?
It
do you
does
give
have
it
a strong nose. Okay.
Just because you're getting chickens, you don't need to do the sound effect.
It's got a
Oh,
kick.
is it nice?
It's got a kick.
Do you like
It's
it?
not smooth. I wouldn't call it smooth.
Would you call it harsh?
I might even call it harsh. But it's not lacking in complexity. It's not lacking in complexity.
And it tastes good. Right.
Hold it. No, it's not smooth. But it's complex, which makes me think it's not a cheap one.
No, it's not.
Um,
Unusual
I
for
think
us.
it's aged. It's old because of its color and it's because of the complexity of the flavor.
Let me give you a clue, just an interesting clue.
Mm-hmm.
It has given it's quite subtle,
Mm-hmm.
it has a flavour in it. It's not straight whiskey. There is a flavour in there.
What, from the barrel, a type of barrel?
No, there's a particular flavour in there.
An added flavor.
Yeah, an added flavour, which, given it's, I think, quite nice and subtle, is very subtly done. But it has got a flavour added, which is unusual, and you wouldn't pick that up straight away.
No. Well, that may explain the color. And the thing is, when you get something harsh like this, it's usually young.
Do you think it's really harsh?
I think it's quite harsh.
Okay.
I mean, we had things like the what did we have? That Irish one.
Not the Pachin.
No, we had an Irish one that was really nice. I can't remember the name of it now.
You brought it as well, but carry on. We have been doing. Oh, we're 18.
Yeah,
We've done 18.
We're 18. We can.
Remember, we're 16. You can't remember what the shit you drank, right? You're gonna like this one. This is a good one.
I'm not saying it's not a quality
No, no,
whiskey,
yeah.
but I do find it a little on the little harsh side.
Do you need any more?
It may be
from
something
me?
that kind of comes through. But if it's quality, you don't want to mix it. But it's something that would probably kick through quite nicely in a cocktail.
I think it would. Yes, that's fair. But I also think that's very nice, neat. I think
It's
so
a
when I
little-
drink
it's
it.
Just a little. I
Little
look
harsh for
something
you.
smoother.
Which is very Irish, which you know. But we,
But no, because
anyway,
you get
anyway,
sauce- yeah.
it's not Irish. Let's
It's
go
not
from
Irish,
there.
right? It's Scotch. Then is it Scotch or is it no, or is it Japanese?
Japanese.
Hang on.
Yeah, there you go.
Mysterious which is in fact Japanese for it's time for the mystery whiskey.
Right. So it is Japanese.
Okay.
So what's the added flavour? And basically, and can you guess which whiskey is from Japan? There's kind of only one or two that we know.
I don't know enough about Japanese.
Well, I'm going to give you
whiskies.
this. It is a Nikkei malt whiskey. So you know the Japanese have like come right up, and they came up from nowhere, didn't they? But there is a particular flavour in it, which actually makes it very successful rather than cheap.
No, couldn't tell you.
Right. I'm bringing the bottle out. It is a Nikkei.
Coffee malt whiskey.
Yeah. And it's one of Jane's favourites, both for cocktails, but I think actually neat.
I was right about. Wasn't I right about the cocktails?
No, you were. That's why I picked it up when you said it. It's a incredibly expensive bottle because
C-O-F-F-E-Y.
they're Japanese, unless you're going to have a go at them. Because your command of Japanese spelling is brilliant.
Listen, I get it, and I'm all for, that stuff.
I know what you were thinking. Right, anyway.
No,
So,
listen.
so can I?
Can I?
I'm taking a picture, and it will go in our little WhatsApp group because I think this is a very nice.
This would
whiskey.
not be my choice for a sipping whiskey, and for me, a sipping whiskey has to be at room temperature and no ice.
Well, it is room temperature. It's no ice.
it's too harsh.
I
for me.
disagree because you're wrong, and it's
How
a very
how can I be wrong for me? How can my taste be wrong?
No, Mark. Subjectively, I accept that, but objectively, for the rest of the fucking universe, it's a nice whiskey you can drink.
Did I not acknowledge that it
Are you
was
racist? Is that what it is?
I
Is
acknowledge
that you hate Japanese people?
Well,
Can't you get over the
right.
war after all this time, Mark?
I tell you what, my father fought in Burma during the war, and
He wouldn't drink this whiskey.
If you accused him of being racist against Japanese, he'd say yes, and I've got good reason to be as well. But I certainly don't.
Hang on, what's that sound? Oh yeah, a dog whistle. I know. Sorry, Mark. I've drank quite a lot.
Right. Now,
Right, can we move on?
We can move
music,
on.
Music,
With
definitely music.
Now I'm going to put.
Oh, sorry, because I've been drinking. One of the other standard artifacts about our thing is the joy of disagreeing with someone so much. Hang on. And going, but it's okay.
Yeah, we're friends.
We're friends. We are actual friends. We want to kill each other, but we're friends.
I love John.
I love Mark more.
In a sort of
No.
healthy, manly way.
Absolutely not. No, absolutely not. In a 3 days in a basement in Berlin
Listen,
kind of
I tell you
way.
what, it's good, and I say this genuinely from the bottom of my heart. It's good to be able to have a friend who you can disagree with
So violently.
to the nth degree, and then have a good old drink about it afterwards.
Cool.
It really
Anyway,
is, genuinely.
back to...
So I'm going to play you a track now. This is made on the other platform. Everything you've heard so far has been made on the Suno platform.
And is that what we heard last week as well?
Yep.
So this is the new one.
This is the new one. This is an EDM track, and what I wanted was something that was sort of I called it a Ibiza Sunrise.
Right.
Okay, and it's something that's upbeat, so cool, dancey, sort of thing you'd expect.
But can I check, is this the platform where you had to input much
This is
much
where you have
more and
much
control?
more input into the control.
And how long did it take you to make this track?
Probably about 2 hours.
Fucking hell. All right, yes.
Okay,
Yes, two whole hours.
But hang on, if I
No.
was a composer, and I'd like to talk through the process. You being a singer songwriter, and me doing, and I consider myself to be an AI musician or an AI music producer because I produce AI music.
And our argument,
Okay, can we-
argument split is I see you as a AI programmer.
Can we? Well, I think programmer's not the right word.
I think it's exactly the right word.
I know what you're trying to say, but I think there's a better word for it.
It's not trying to put you down. It's what I think is an accurate description of what you're doing. You're programming an AI,
Well,
and it then produces.
Then at the end of this
the
track,
result.
we will have a discussion about the music.
None of which takes away,
the music
which is the
maker
weird
players.
bit, is from the music. But anyway,
Yeah.
so this one you had much more control, much more.
This I had much more input and various iterations and so on before I got to what I wanted. So
and an iteration means it pumped out 2 or 3 or whatever.
Yes,
it is,
but I
and you
can
pick
actually,
from each one, and then you move
But
on.
not only
from
that, within those, I can go back to a point and say, look, change things after this. I don't like that bit.
Can you actually, like insert edit? Can you go change things after here, but carry on with what you had after
Yes,
this?
you can.
So it's not just from here it has to change.
You can in paint.
So you
they
can
call
go.
it.
So you can go. I really like. I didn't really like the
Or you
bridge.
can change the words.
I didn't really like the
Yep.
bridge, but I loved it up to the bridge. I loved it after the bridge, and it will insert variations to the bridge. Is
Yep.
that how it
Yep,
goes?
that's
That
it.
is insane.
That's
I mean,
it.
that's literally last week. I was going.
Now
That's
we
the
are
only thing
getting
missing.
to the point where there is real creative control. Okay. Anyway, it's called Hypnotic Sunset.
Sunset burning bright, colors in the night. Feel the rhythm light, lose ourselves inside. Put your hands up to the skies, beat the sunset, hypnotize. Feel the moments passing by, dance with stars until we fly. Sunset burning bright, colors in the night. Feel the rhythm light, lose ourselves tide. In this magic we confide. Voices blend a beat inside. Heartbeats sync, no need to hide. Put your hands up to the skies. Beat the sunset, hypnotize. Feel the moments passing by. Dance with stars until we fly. Feel the warmth, it's paradise. Underneath these velvet skies, whispers float as our hearts rise. Lost in dreams where love to fly. Put your hands up to the skies. Beat the sunset, hypnotize. Feel the moments passing by. Dance with stars until we fly. Feel the warmth, it's paradise. Underneath these velvet skies, whispers float as our hearts rise. Lost in dreams where love to fly. Put your hands up to the skies. Beat the sunset, hypnotize. Feel the moments passing by. Dance with stars until we fly. Colors blend, all shades collide. Oceans breath, our hearts untied. Lost in waves where dreams reside. Together we'll take this ride. Put your hands up to the skies. Beat the sunset, hypnotize. Feel the moments passing by. Dance with stars until we fly.
Now, how fucking good is that as a dance track?
I wasn't that impressed.
I mean, that's just...
No. It was a bit boring. By the way, only if you watch this on YouTube will you understand the full impact of that. I was dancing like a fucking loon.
There was some very, very...
Interesting
very
moves. Seat moves.
going on. I mean, when I
Hang on, hold on a minute. I don't know if you...
after I finished that track, I played that on repeat because I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Just to be clear, the whole joke is, if you watch it on YouTube, I am dancing like a fucking loon.
What a great track. I mean, in the clubs, that would just...
I mean, well, we did this last week, and then we can't keep doing the same thing. At first, and I'm literally about the first verse, which you would do with any song you've never heard. I'm there going, I'm not sure about that. I'm really not sure. It's a bit cliched. It's a bit... That lasted for about half the first verse. By the end of the first verse, I'm going, I don't want to admit. And then the drops, just every texture in it. Every hook, the hook, absolutely the hook.
Hold your hands up to the sky.
Absolutely the hook. So I don't want to talk about it because I was actually sitting there, which is even fucking worse. I mean, it really hurts. I'm doing, you know how much work I'm doing to sort of get a new sound together, a new act and a new thing. I would fucking play that. Right? Could you imagine? Right. So just so you get it. This is months of work, me trying to build up, and this is the whole point. I've got a guitar that can do drums, that can do, it's really weird, electrical guitar, but it can do all the electrical guitar, it can do also acoustic. But the key is it can play every other instrument via MIDI. So it could be pianos, it can be synths, it can be drums, it can be whatever it is. But to do it together, it's looping. And ordinarily, I'm going to write my own songs. I'm going to do this, and I'm just going, I would happily stand in front of a crowd. And this hurts me. You know how much this hurts me because I've bitched about this, both in our podcasts and also personally when we're together. I fucking hate AI. You know, I fucking hate what it is. But the hatred is based on how good it is.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, and I was just listening to it going, I would play this. If I could do a personal rendition of that song, without the high bits, but if I could do it,
Yeah.
I know everyone would be bouncing.
Yeah.
I know they would. And I think this is one of our debates. And you know that if I did that personally, I would have a crowd going for my personal playing of that, just like if I was playing any other cover, except this would be original.
Yeah.
But how good was that on a first listen?
I know. It was.
Can we move on? Only because
I mean, you know, like I say, it took me a few hours to engineer that, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
but I had a lot more input in that
than the other platform.
than the other.
You see, when you
platform.
said this platform wasn't perhaps as good at its final production, right? You know, when we were chatting about it earlier.
Well, not so good at instantly giving you a finished finished
because
song.
the end production of that was easily as good as the other one.
Yeah.
And
It took
I mean,
that took a lot more work.
right, and
But I think that. But again, for me, you know, for someone who has no musical facility, I can't play an instrument, I can't read music
so
or
how
anything.
can you produce a song that wouldn't sound out of place?
Well, this is my point, is that what it's doing is removing those barriers.
of people who haven't become musicians.
But what I think I have is I have a musical aesthetic.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what I'm doing is I'm using the tools that are available
To create
something. And what you will do, this is what I think you will do, is, you know, someone will you will listen to someone's music because of their musical aesthetic.
Yeah, I get that.
Okay.
I get it, and the only reason I'm trying to move it on is we did it, you know.
And this is why I say producer. I mean, you know, that the Summers Family, you know, album.
And by the way, you're
creative.
creative. You're creative about creating them. Don't think when I knock you, I don't knock you.
No,
I knock
get
you
that.
where I think it's legit, and I absolutely don't knock you where it's not. The enjoyment of creating this family, creating all the different elements of this family, and using that to feed in, because what everybody says, one of the things people say AI is, well, no, the reason they like real human artists is human artists have a backstory and human artists have a real thing to say, you know, their background. And I'm going, but Mark's faking that really well, so you can't even. Aren't
the pictures great? I mean, they're completely AI generated.
The pictures are great. The backstory itself is great, written by AI, I assume, with prompts from you.
Yeah, with prompts from me.
You know, he lost his wife, and then suddenly you've got 3 paragraphs of what that
I gave
did
the
to him.
ages, I gave who they were, what they looked like.
And the AI came back to
and
you
AI
and
built
said,
the story around it.
Yeah. So on one hand, it's completely fake. You'd agree with that. You know, it doesn't exist. They don't exist.
No,
they never had those tragedies. They don't sing.
No, they didn't. But
They
it's
don't
a
exist.
concept. It's like
They
a
don't
movie.
exist.
It's
Hang
like
on.
a movie.
I know, I get it. And
It's
they don't-
like Daisy
Yes.
Jones and the Six.
No, that was a documentary. No, it was.
No, it's a story.
No, she really lived.
Yeah, whatever. But you know what
in
I mean.
my
though?
head.
But you know what I mean.
Yes.
It plays with the
It's a
boundaries
novel.
of this thing,
It's
doesn't
a novel.
it?
All of this plays with the boundaries because, I mean, it's really weird. It's almost taken over our podcast, hasn't it? In a
It
funny
has,
kind of
certainly for
way.
the last couple of times.
Because,
Well,
and
there
yeah,
is so
maybe
much to
not
talk
forever,
about.
but most people listening to our podcast love music. Mm-hmm. And this isn't music, except it is.
Mm-hmm.
And where the fuck do we deal with that? A lot of the people that listen to our podcast are musicians. They're mates of ours, and they love music, and this is the threat to it. And yet, the end product is frighteningly good. Anyway, I need to move on because we've said this too many times.
we have.
What's next?
No, well, I just
But
wanted
by the
I-
way, I think that was a fucking great track.
It was a
if I
great
could
track.
stand up, I would do it.
Listen,
I would
I'll
actually
tell
do
you-
it. Hang on. You want a challenge? I would stand up and play that because I'm trying out my tech with, you know what I'm doing with my tech. I would stand up and play maybe a male version of it, you know, take the voice down. But I would play that and just wonder if anybody listening would ever think that came out of a
Right.
computer.
Well, you and I go skiing, don't you? Don't we? And we go to the Folly Deuce, and I
Yeah.
think our favourite Folly Deuce
Oh,
is
if
in
you-
Maribel.
Yeah.
So I was playing around with that concept, the whole Folly Deuce concept. Let me just see if I can find the track. I'll play you a bit of it. I won't play the whole thing. Okay. But I was doing a sort of a Folly Deuce type concept. Anyway, for those that don't know, Folly Deuce is a bar on the side of the
Basically
mountains.
a daytime nightclub.
It's a
in
daytime
way.
nightclub where
So really rocking
yeah.
dancers, great music, huge sound system, isn't it? And everyone gets
Yep.
on the tables and
on the
goes
tables
mental.
dancing, especially middle-aged men who've had too much to drink.
Who are generally dancing to the young ladies on a
Generally
table
doing that.
two away.
Who are generally doing that. Let me find this track.
Could we put this on to next week?
Say again, what?
Next episode?
I'd say, yeah, we could do.
Why don't we give it a proper?
Sous les étoiles. Oh, here we go. I've got it here. I'm going
Right,
to play
go
you a little bit of it. Let me just make sure I've got the right version of it here. Here we go. Okay, and this is called "Seize the Day," but it was written around the concept of the Folly Deuce in Maribel.
City lights guide our way, chasing stars tonight. Footsteps echo, cobblestone blade in this Parisian light. Hearts beat, DJ spin, TV on. Hands up, let's begin. TV on. The 42s feel the groove under Paris skies. Dance lights make the move as the music flies. The Folly Deuce, the fly.
The only reason,
kind of a bit of a
right, hang
taste
on.
there, go
No,
on.
this is entirely me that's pulled this one because let's play it properly, like the full.
Yeah,
one
no, I
next
go
week.
do. But
No,
you see
because-
where I go from. I'm
No,
going
but
from.
what I also think is, Folly Deuce used to have to pay really expensive musicians because you got to have good musicians
Yeah.
to choose that shit.
Yeah.
In fact, you've got to pay for a studio. You've got to do all of that. I'm already listening to it going, that's a fucking great anthem. If I was Folly Deuce, I'd buy that. Right now, I'd buy that. And they used to have to spend probably £50,000, maybe even £100,000 to get an anthem that good.
Yeah.
But can we move on? Only because it's depressing me.
There's
No more music.
I've
No
done
more
it. I've done it.
No, seriously. I'm not doing it.
Let me just tell
no,
you.
No. You come back
I'm going to
next
tell you. I'm
week.
not going to play it.
Right.
I'm not going to play it. But I've done another
Which
one.
is
called-
not an insult. I want to play
is
that
in
next
French.
time.
It's called Sous les étoiles,
Next
Under the
time.
Stars.
Next time.
Which again is built on the Folly Deuce thing, and it is offbeat, but it's just fucking fantastic. Anyway,
Next time.
Anyway.
None of which alters the fact next time we play it because I can see already.
Yeah,
it's
sure,
good.
sure,
Right.
sure.
And that'll be our ski special.
Good. Right. Well, where are we? We're on 2 hours and 6 minutes. I think. Now
Can we have a quote
a quote
from the Dangerous
from
Book
the
for
Dangerous-
Boys?
Well, we hadn't finished advice for how to deal with girls.
Oh, really?
And I thought we ought to pull back on that one. We because there's many men, not necessarily of young age, that could still do with a bit of help with advice as to how to deal
Absolutely.
with ladies.
How to deal with girls.
Okay. Right. Advice about girls.
By the way, this one's for Tina, who came back to the fold.
Let me just.
Because she is a girl.
Girls. Anyway, let me just reiterate the intro to this section.
Yeah, no one knows
Okay,
what we're talking
this is,
about. This is the
We
Dangerous
have
Book.
the Dangerous
Book for Boys.
By
By-
Con and Hal Eagledon. By
And
Hal
what is it?
Eagledon.
And what is it? It's a general
It's a-
advice Bible for young men.
It's a tongue-in-cheek, but actually probably really serious and actually quite useful book.
how to survive
just how
snake
to do-
bites.
how to
Hang
do
on,
stuff.
snake bites or dating girls.
The laws of cricket, understanding grammar, girls, marbling paper, cloud formations, famous battles, making cloth fireproof, first aid, the Commonwealth, maps of changing Britain, Roman Britain and the Norman conquest, etc.
Right, so get to
pinhole
girls.
projectors, blah, 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 all sorts of things. Latin phrases every boy should know. Okay.
Oh, no, hang on. I know you're going to do... Sorry, that was so good. I need to know a Latin phrase. You don't start without a Latin phrase.
2, 1, 3.
Give me a Latin phrase every boy should know.
Okay, well, I mean, you criticised me for using Latin beforehand.
Obviously.
You criticised me ad nauseum.
Oh, I see what you did there. Oh, that's really good. QED.
What does that mean?
Q
Ad nauseum. Ad nauseum.
You're going to make me puke if you
No,
do it
you
again.
criticised me until I feel sick.
No, really. Right, carry on.
Okay.
I want a good one. Pick me. You only get one.
Ad
So pick
hominem.
one. Homonym. Homonym is human. Ad hominem. How do I? I'm gonna go with always true.
No.
Go on.
It's a below the belt attack in a response to an argument. Ad hominem.
Ad hominem attack. Don't take the argument, take the man.
Yeah, rather than the reasoned response.
Below the belt. That's great. Right, that's it. Now back to where you were going. No, we do the rest one a week. Don't.
Cogito ergo sum.
No,
I think, therefore, I am.
I prefer the English. Right, anyway, back
Girls.
to girls.
Okay.
But you got to pick one at random.
Well, I'm going to go do the intro first. So you may already have noticed that girls are quite different from you. This is addressed to boys, of course. By this, we do not mean the physical differences, more the fact that they remain unimpressed by your mastery of games involving wizards or your understanding of Morse code.
Hang on.
SOS. Yeah, I could.
Girls don't know that.
Some will be impressed, of course, but as a general rule, girls don't get quite as excited by the use of urine as secret ink as boys do. We thought long and hard about what advice we could possibly be suitable. It's an inescapable fact that boys spend a great deal of their lives thinking and dreaming about girls. So the subject should be mentioned here as delicately as possible. Okay. Now, this is a good one for you, John.
Yeah.
Advice about girls. Number one
go on.
is it's important to listen. Human beings are often very self-centered and like to talk about themselves. In addition, it's an easy subject if someone is nervous. It's good advice to listen closely unless she has also been given this advice, in which case an uneasy silence can develop like two owls sitting together. I always told you that my biggest dating advice was, just ask questions about the other person. And when I learned to just ask questions about a girl, I could talk to any girl.
You have told me that your real dating advice was to sit there and treat them as enemy targets when you were looking.
No.
Oh, what was it? Look and kill.
Reconnaissance by fire. Look and kill.
Reconnaissance by fire.
No, just giving a glance and see if you get a response. You've then got to then enter the battle and use all the
techniques you got
at your ability.
And we're not those guys, are we? But anyway, so you're saying the trick
No, the
to
trick.
drawing women in is to hang on, listen to them.
Yes.
Carry on.
Okay.
Give us something new. Come on.
So when you're older, flowers really do work.
Oh, fuck off.
Women love them. When
Really?
you're young, however, there's a ghastly sense of being awkward rather than romantic, and she will guess your mother bought them.
By the way, it's very good.
And our
tongue-in-cheek.
chance of our mothers still being
so
alive.
let's just check this one. If you, at 61, 64, 60s,
Yeah, mothers aren't alive.
if you buy...
I buy Claire flowers regularly.
Do you?
Yes.
Is that like snow theory?
Snow theory.
Snow theory. It's a
Anything like
military.
dog whistling?
It's a military
No,
theory.
it clearly isn't.
It clearly is. It's an RAF one, and you're not a flyboy, so you wouldn't know. It is.
If you'd know that. All right. What's the military slang for the RAF?
Pillar buyers?
No,
That's Marines.
crab air or blue jobs. Take your pick.
We'll do that another time. Right. So snow theory is that you, like chaff in the radar, you throw out so much sort of blah that they can't actually see what you're really doing.
I'm not quite sure how that applies to this
I'm really
advice.
not anymore either. What was the question again?
Well, just
There's a lot of whiskey
flowers
here.
do work.
No, flowers. So the point is you buy regularly.
Oh,
so she doesn't know what you're apologising for.
I'm never apologising for anything. I really don't do anything to. Well, I may be a bit untidy, and I may not do exactly what I've been told in exactly the way I've been told to do it.
I've sat there. I've sat there when you've apologised. You know you have.
If you see a girl in need of help,
Hang on, wait, Penelope Pitstop. Penelope Pitstop, are you ready? Hang on, 1, 2, 3.
Help! I just remember my wife Claire looked remarkably like Penelope Pitstop in one of her previous skiing suits. So it wasn't pink, it was blue. But with her ski helmet on, she looked remarkably like Penelope Pitstop.
If you know how I got from between 13 and 15, you do not want to make any references to Penelope Pitstop. Okay. Anyway, moving on.
It was more Daphne from Scooby Doo.
It was always Penelope Pitstop with the mummy bandages. But let's move on.
You like them weak and helpless rather than capable and intelligent, like Daphne. You're the only one who's got no response to that remark.
Right, carry on.
If you see a girl in need of help, unable to lift something, for example, do not taunt her. Ha! You're just a girl. You can't do that. Approach the object and greet it with a cheerful smile while surreptitiously testing the weight of the object.
Because if it is too heavy.
If you find you can lift it, go ahead. If you can't, try sitting on it, engaging her in conversation.
That's actually quite cool.
It's actually very good.
That's like if
No,
you can
okay.
you do. Hang on, if you can you do because you win brownie points. If you can't,
Okay.
absolutely change the
Yeah, quite.
paradigm.
And finally, make sure you're well scrubbed, your nails are clean, your hair is washed.
I've
Remember
never-
that girls are as nervous around you as you are around them. If you can imagine such a thing, they think and act rather differently to you, but without them, life would be one long rugby locker room. Treat them with respect. Now, joke it as you may about this, all those pieces of advice have an underlying principle, and that's treat girls with respect.
But you would vote for Trump, who believes
Oh,
in grabbing.
stop it.
No, it matters. Hold
Stop
on.
it.
Don't
Just
advance a positive. Don't
shut
advance
up.
a positive
Oh,
theory.
dude,
If you support the guy
shut
who
up.
grabs them by the pussy,
Shut up.
you see, you're just full of shit.
Shut.
The
fuck.
theory the difference on the left is we listen to that kind of thing. Hold on, and we accept it. We actually live it. You say it, and then support
You live all
someone,
sorts of other shit
and
as
then,
well.
And then you support
You would
someone who.
you would
and I
also-
quote, by
okay.
the way, you always want facts,
Okay.
indisputable facts.
Right.
Grabs them by the pussy and rapes them.
Okay, so what respect is it for women if you would, let creepy men self-identify as women so they can go and hang around in ladies' toilets?
Have you met anyone who thinks that? Have you?
what?
I'm left and I don't.
Well, Tim Waltz.
He doesn't think that either.
No, he does.
No, he doesn't.
No, he does.
Anyway, right. Anyway, he doesn't. So
Yes,
you
he does.
support the guy who grabs women's
he
pussies,
supported-
grabs women's pussies, and
no,
can't
just-
have abortions.
shut up.
No, because you don't, in fact, respect them.
Shut up.
Right,
Don't be
anyway,
stupid.
right, back to this. Back to the jokes.
Don't be
Right,
stupid.
not jokes, but this.
Stupid,
Right.
stupid,
Do I
stupid
think-
man.
do I-
Stupid.
Yes. Fucking hell. We're in. Crash this plane. Crash
Right,
this plane.
no,
Grab the controls and put this thing in
I'm
the
going to
ground.
play one more piece of music.
Really?
Yes, I'm going to play one more piece of music.
I mean, it is good, but really?
One more. Yes, I'm going to play one more before.
Play us out. Play us out.
and then, well, this is I just want a quick debrief on this one, and then we'll be out. So this is my this is again on the new platform. This is
What does that mean? You
the
platform?
Udio, the one where you have more input and where
Got
you
it,
get a
got
segment
it.
and then
Yeah,
you
yeah,
build
yeah.
on it and all that sort of stuff. And I'm again, my eclectic taste in music take me to acid jazz funk.
I love acid jazz.
Yeah. Okay. So this is probably not the best example. I've got some really good acid jazz. This is one that is a bit more middle of the road. Anyway, it's called "Dancing in the Velvet."
Under city lights, shadows intertwine. You beats and bass lines, that in mind. Every move's electric, charged with neon news. Lost in vibrations, I'm entranced by you. In the breath of rhythm,
You and I collide.
just let the music guide.
The heat of the night.
Smooth like silk, every touch divine. In this dance of passion, let our hearts unite. Velvet rhythm, now the groove's so true. Velvet rhythm, I'm lost in you. With every sip of wine, we lifted off the ground, swaying in the moment with that soulful sound. Just listen in the dark as we spin and sway. In this velvet rhythm, we let the night play. Velvet rhythm, let the music flow. Velvet rhythm, lose what says let go. Keep the magic rise. This is happy lies. Synchronized emotion beneath the twilight skies. Every plant, every sigh sets our souls aflight. In this velvet rhythm, everything feels right. Listen to the spots and put up in the groove with groove. And I was never near. When that's over, sun, long voice, it's so close that everything you in the velvet rhythm. Velvet rhythm, let the music flow. The birds are good. I'm falling so good. Velvet rhythm, you know the music flow. You know music flow. Velvet rhythm.
So there's Dancing in the Velvet by a
By
band,
Mark. By
a band
Mark.
by Funk Ejaculation. That's it. That's the name. That's the name for my Funk Ejaculation. Great. With Jeffrey Jackson on trombone. But
It's like my worst right-wing
now
music
that
nightmare.
one, well, that was a good core, and there were lots of variations that I thought were a little bit just too off the edge, and it ended up being a little bit too middle of the road of its kind.
Although
But-
lots of jazz funk sits
Yeah,
there
yeah.
and grooves.
yeah, sits and grooves, groovy.
Yeah, that one didn't light me up.
No,
like
I know-
the other
I
one.
know
No,
exa-
but the last
I
track
know
you
ex-
played lit me up,
I know
and
exactly
I
what
didn't
you
want to be. And that's what it feels like. It feels like I don't want to be, but I am.
Yep.
That one just didn't quite light me up, but also I might be a bit distracted, and I've
I
drank
know, but if
shitloads of
that was
whiskey.
playing in a background,
Oh no, absolutely.
if it's-
Anyway,
if it was part of an album track, where you've got an album,
listen,
an album.
if I
say,
if I put on any album of people we actually know, we're going to find 4 tracks.
yeah.
Where we go, look, it's all right, and
Yeah.
I might even grow to love them,
Yeah.
but they're not my favorite tracks.
Yeah.
So that I agree with you. That doesn't mean anything.
Yep. Anyway, so
18, 18.
we're 18.
So finally, I can consent to homosexual. What?
You could have done that for a while.
What?
You could have done that for a long time. So 18, where we come of age. John, we come of age. You and I now.
So now it's docking.
What does that mean?
Oh, you're so sweet. I'll tell him later.
Okay. Anyway, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thank you to our dear listener who's born with us for.
By the way, have we had any externals? Are we in our worldwide network, or is there
No, we're
anyone
still
new?
we go from we to Jamaica, France, Luxembourg, Holland, Greece,
Shout out
Spain,
Ireland,
a lot of Norway, a lot of places we've been.
Yeah, that's okay. Anyway.
So anyway, again, thank you very much. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you've enjoyed what we're listening to, we hope you have, and thank you for listening. Now, don't forget, there's going to be a few announcements of albums produced by the album label is called Art-Official 1000.
Is that it?
Yeah,
You got
Artificial
that?
1000. Yeah, I've got that. And look out for that and anything produced on that label. Please share it and like it.
And everything will go to charity.
Yeah, so we get plays if you play it on Spotify, and we plays if you play it on Apple Music if you're a subscriber. If you buy it on iTunes, every penny that comes to me will go to charity.
Yeah.
Okay, and send us an email at brumcrack@gmail.com and tell us what charity you'd like us to send it to. But I ain't going to make a penny out of this. I love doing it. I love doing this podcast. I love doing it with my great friend John, who sits here opposite me, even though he's a bit of a twat. So thanks again for listening, and we look forward to entertaining you again next time.